Okay, we're 10 seconds in.
We're live.
We are live.
I can talk instead of chat. See, I was sitting there chatting with everybody while the
Do you
computer
want
was
this chair?
the computer was trying to.
Trade me chairs.
Okay, well the computer was trying to come alive.
All right. Let's do our intro. Can I start the intro?
I guess I can put the phone away.
It's time to start the show. Haha, do our intro. Oh, this is a little low. Probably don't need to see our bottoms. There we
See,
go.
before you start, my excuse
It's
for being
noisy.
late is Kim has a meeting on Thursday night, and I have a live that I do that I always attend, and so we decided to do a live tonight. So a little bit of a rush at the end. So we're here. Okay, Kim, go ahead.
But if you don't set a time, then you'll never do it. So, all right. So it is Thursday night. Welcome to a shop live stream. I am Kim of Kim Fixes Thing. You can find Kim Fixes Things. You can find my channel elsewhere on YouTube. And we are here with Buff Del Campo, who is the namesake of our current channel where you are now live. Let's see. You can be in the frame too. We like you, so we'll give you some. I don't
Hey,
want
I
to be
have a
center
little light.
stage. Yes, and we have lights, camera, action. We are here to entertain you, and to get something done. Maybe. If you'll notice, there's some things in the background are different. There's no car because the car has been out and about. Even tonight, so in the dark, for the first time, I took the car in the dark, and it wasn't so bad. There's a little bit of it's leaving a trail of smoke, so I don't know if it seemed like it was coming out of the whole car, so I think maybe it's just kind of burning off some juices, because if it was coming out the exhaust, it would just come out the exhaust side, but it's coming out like everywhere back there. I know
Like
I
blow
fogged.
by?
Yeah, I fogged one guy out. So that's the thing. I think it's way too much to be blow by. I don't know. Maybe it is blow by, but I kind of think maybe it's just burning off some old.
Like handprints on the exhaust manifold. things.
More than handprints, babe. More than that. Like a big old cloud of. That's okay.
Valve cover gasket leaking and
It could valve cover gasket. It could be.
something like that. Well, the good thing is you drove it like way into town, and you went to a meeting, and you came out, it started up, and you drove it back.
No trouble. A little
Dark
bit of a
dark
stumble
both
on the
ways?
idle. What's
Dark
that?
both ways? No, you was probably
Yeah.
still a little bit light on the way
No,
there.
it's dark as pitch black going out there.
Okay.
And the dash lights all come on, which is worthless because none of the gauges give me any information that's usable. The tank says well over 3/4 of a tank.
And what we put in there was a couple of gallons out of a can. So it's getting low on gas again. But that's okay, because you're going to pull the...
I got
Sending
to
it.
pull the sending unit out of the tank, so I didn't want to put any gas in it. But it's way high.
Good thing we're live now, not seeing that junk in the thumbnail. I like that thumbnail. That car was just right. It has like the right curves or spots so I can put my little headlines in there, and it's a good looking car.
He likes that junk. He would love to have one of those.
He tells me, and then you told me, Tavo, you told me that it'd be easier to make one out of a station wagon. And that's when I thought, man, maybe I should make that 4-door into a station wagon. But I really want the pickup bed, but I don't know. I could do either. I'm sorry, I always interrupt you.
Not at all. I think that we've done most of our introduction. I usually mention that we are live in the shop with our
Look at
Sorta.
this mess.
ad hoc shop studio. So we do have a camera that we can kind of drag around, but it's sort of hit or miss so far. But we're working on getting better camera situation out here so that we can sort of show you what we're doing. Tonight, I don't know that it'll be that interesting. But sometimes we may walk away from the camera, but mostly we try to interact with the chat. Since it is alive, that's what it's about. In our regular videos, it's all about us and what we're doing and what we're working on. But when we are live, we talk with the chat. So if you are here after the fact, John Wilburn, welcome to the stream, says, tick, tick, tick. I'm still working 13 days and 48 minutes. Yeah, we're working.
John just popped in. So
Yeah.
you missed. Kim has a meeting on Thursday nights, and it's at night. And she got in the Dart. I go, no, no, I'll take the Jeep. And she goes, no, I'm taking the Dart. She drove into town. Uh,
In the dark.
in the
In the
Dart,
Dart.
in the Jeep with lights that worked. And after the meeting, the Dart started up and she drove back. So we have a couple of things to do before No Name Nationals, but we're putting
Hopefully, we're getting
some
down to the nitty gritty.
hours on it, some miles on it.
Miles on it, yeah.
Yeah, so it'll be okay.
And it goes okay. Like, it's not a race car, but it goes okay. It's just an old jalopy. Or what does Big Mike hoopty? It's just an old hoopty. It makes a little bit of smoke. I think I need
You know
to
what? It's a
maybe I
way
hit it with a pressure washer
it's
next.
way better hoopty than it was 6 months ago.
It runs real smooth. Like, it drives real smooth. It's a little bit rough on the idle, but I made a lot of changes to the tuning, and the carburetor probably needs tuned back in. I adjusted the timing, and it needs some things. But how are you doing tonight, John? Anything interesting happening? That was a good live you did on Friday with all the peoples. It's good to see that everybody's getting excited. Last minute preparations. He's even got it down to the hours. John, don't do that.
You know, the numbers would be a lot higher if you use seconds. Or, for the people in Europe and the rest of the world, you go with metric time, like millidays. There'd be 1,000 millidays in a day.
Decadays?
They're kind of the resolution's not tight enough. Millidays, noon would be 500, and 6 o'clock in the evening would be 750. And see, I started this like 40 years ago because same story, everybody with metric. So I had an airspeed indicator that I took the faceplate off and I made it in kilometers per milliday. But the resolution is all screwed up because I'd fly about between 7 and 8. So resolution wasn't tight enough. Everybody hated that airspeed indicator, including a couple of European guys that were around. But damn it, I had metric time.
Metric time.
Yep. A milliday actually works out to be like 1 minute and 26 seconds, something like that.
Metric time is anti-American.
Oh, I don't know. It was made up by an American. That would be me.
I don't know if we're going to be able to do a mini bike. I don't know where we're going to find the time and energy for that.
You just do what you can do. The important thing is to be there. KJ Kylie.
KJ Kylie, welcome to the stream. How you doing tonight? I blew up the garage because we were just stumbling over ourselves, and we're trying to, right now we're preparing hectically for No Name Nationals, but when No Name Nationals is over, we need to immediately roll into the next project, and the next project is going to be an aluminum bodied car.
Well, the next
we
project
made that decision.
The next project is to make sure you can make that car run. And if that car runs and the transmission works,
we're going to rebody that car.
We're going to rebody that car and make it an aluminum car.
I think I've proven at this point that I can make anything run. We're going to make a body of a car or a frame and wheels of a car that can run and drive, and then we are going to body it in aluminum. We, meaning I do the running and rolling and driving part, and he do the aluminum bodying part. And since I'm going to be learning, hopefully I am good enough at documenting what he's doing that other people will find it as interesting as I do.
Well, I built enough airplanes that I'm real comfortable with aluminum, and Kim doesn't. She just hasn't done that before.
No.
But once I start getting into it, she'll come right up to speed. I know she is. She'll be telling me how to do it and teaching me something. Because that's how it is. That's how it is with Kim.
So I'm preparing the garage shop studio to be betterer than it's ever been.
Yeah,
when I got here, it was just this big storage barn, and we're getting to the point where
full of crap.
Yeah,
we couldn't even get in a door.
And we're getting to where now it's a working shop with the ability to be a studio.
I have to get up for a minute. I'm only going like 15 feet and back. I didn't get my water. Do you need water while I'm there?
No, my beverage is already mixed 50-50. How you doing today, KJ Kylie? Anything interesting happening? Nobody has anything to say tonight. Maybe they'll roll in. Is there somebody else streaming this evening that we don't know about? Who's it? Who we're up against? Nobody has anything to say. Tavo thinks his car is junk to see in the thumbnail. He likes that car. I had a Dodge Dart, a 72 Dodge Dart that was that blue or close to that blue. It was pretty nice.
Well, and it's not just the blue. You know, my 64 Ford was that light blue color they had on Fords in 64. And, yes, I kind of like it, but, the trucks today are just enormous, and I don't need an F-150 or F-250 or some big-ass vehicle. And I had a 57 Ranchero for a while, years ago, and then I had a 72 El Camino, and those cars are just perfect, because I could throw things in the back, like a gas can. Don't have to worry about stinking up the inside of the car, and maybe move some car parts around, radiator or something, but it's not meant to put a big load in it. It's just meant to have outdoor storage.
Well, the joke is that the size of a man's truck is inversely proportional to the size of his ego.
Other stuff. Okay. So I don't know. To me, an El Camino-sized vehicle is perfect. And many years ago, I almost bought a new Rampage, which is a little front driver El Camino-ish car from Chrysler, but I really didn't have the money for it and decided not to borrow money. But, yeah, I wish we'd had the A-body. Oh, I don't know if I have any Tang left.
Uh-oh.
Do I have any Tang? I have walkie-talkies. Got to get our beverages out.
Get our snacks ready.
Excuse us while we get our...
That's all right. Nobody's watching. Everybody left.
Everybody left, yeah.
I think
people got tired of us right away.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what happened.
They got other things to do.
They all left.
Probably, what's that guy? Kiwi's probably streaming tonight.
It's Thursday night, so maybe it's not a good night to stream. I don't know.
Maybe everybody's
well, maybe we'll end up with one
week.
or two friends in here, and we'll all just have a good time.
Have some good conversation.
Sisms.
Would you like a couple of corn nuts?
Corn nuts.
How about corn nuts?
Ooh, don't they smell funny?
Oh, hey, Mexican Spec. How you doing
Mexican
tonight?
Spec's here. Hello, how you doing? We're,
How's the picture? Are we coming through? Because I know a lot of people kind of bailed.
Yeah, people just started leaving. I have 2 Rancheros. Had a lot more in the past. What year Rancheros do you have?
Thanks for being here, KJ.
Yeah, I'm really, really happy to see some people here.
Don't like or subscribe or share, because then it'll ruin everything. There'll be a whole bunch of people here. It's a pain.
What was it? John used to they were trying to get subs for somebody. Remember, like for last year's No Name Nationals, and they told somebody to just the guy's no good, just go unsub from him. And the guy got like 100 subs that night because they were telling everybody to go unsub from him. The image is clear. Good. Thank you.
Good
67 Ranchero and 69 Ranchero.
Cool.
Oh man, which one do I like better? Ooh, those are both good years. Oh, Tavo, yeah, you got to go to work, don't you? Yeah, it's a weekday. It's Friday there, isn't it? Well, have a good Friday.
Thanks for stopping in.
Yep.
We'll see you
Thanks
soon.
for coming. And thanks for the thumbnail tonight.
The sound is not synchronized.
Uh-oh.
Oh, man.
Uh-oh. How bad is it? How bad is the sound? Maybe that's why everybody left. Shaquille. Shake. Is that how you pronounce it? Ari's here. Back to work 4 hours. Then on again tomorrow morning. Oh, you work Saturday mornings too. I don't like the side windows on a 69 Ranchero. Why? Because there's no vent windows? Does the 67 have vent windows? I'm trying to think. It's just a little off. Milliseconds, but noticeable.
Let me see if I can fix it. Give me a second here.
How do you fix that?
I'm going to switch to the different microphone and then come back.
Oh, swap mics back. Johnny C. Oops. Maybe they can't hear us at all.
We can.
Okay. Okay, I see we have sound. Is it more synchronized? We don't know. Johnny C, good evening. How you doing? So Bruce, 69 has a 302. Oh man, I was gonna say 302. That's what my 351 came out. It was a 69. I think it came out of a 69 Ranchero.
Let us know if that fixed it. If not, we might do a little intentional pause and then restart and see if that fixes it.
Oh, 69 windows flop around in the wind. Okay, so something down in there's not connected like it was in the earlier ones.
Ari's here.
Junkyard D, yeah, I said hi to Ari.
Johnny C is here. Welcome to stream. Junkyard D is here. Welcome to stream. Oh no, I want to fix it, Mexican Spec, because what if something really cool happens and then the sound is not synced and it'll suck?
Man, I went back and I watched. Which one was that I was watching? I was really disappointed in.
I remember there was one that was
I don't
terrible.
know. I was watching it and I was watching the rerun and it was not synced and that was terrible.
Oh, Tim, welcome to the stream.
And Tim's here. Cool.
Tim was looking for a hotel. Did you find a hotel,
Oh yeah,
Tim?
did you I recommended one, but I don't know if people like that one, but you know what happened with Holiday Inn Express? The company I work for put us in Holiday Inn Express a lot. And then so I got a lot of points and I started staying in them and I was never unhappy with them. And so I just continued and we went to Sykeston last year. I had enough points where we stayed there didn't pay anything. This year I got to pay, but that's okay. We're staying in the same place. And you you go in there in the evening, you see some cool cars in the parking lot because there's other people that stay there from No Name Nationals. But a lot of people stay at the track. They camp at the track. That's what Kim did the first year.
Oh, Mexican Spec delivered a truck and is on to his
Man,
next deal. That sounds good.
I really like hearing that because I think you worked hard to get to the point where you're actually delivering vehicles and you're delivering vehicles. That's a really good thing. I think the count is off.
The count?
Down below. It says we only have 2 people left. But
Clearly it's a little
I'm
bit.
talking to more than 2 people.
Well.
I saw one pear tree almost across from the restaurant. From the restaurant. Oh, from yeah, what's their names? What's the name of the restaurant? Lambert's. Right across from Lambert's. I don't know anything about that. But I don't know. We didn't hear anything bad about anywhere, actually. Ready, Bernie, watch this. The buyer of the truck made this video. Yeah,
All right.
We're talking to more than 2 people. It says there's only 2 people in here. That's crazy. Something's wrong with YouTube.
Things are a little bit sketchy tonight.
YouTube.
All right,
YouTube's off by.
Yeah.
They're crazy.
So I want you guys to know that
Can
it's.
I grab some of that?
Please do. Yeah, go ahead. Take
I
the
wanna-
bag right now.
I'm gonna see how it is. Okay, go ahead, Kim. I'll cut you off.
Seems like there's a lot of competition in the YouTube live talk nowadays. Well, yes. The thing of it is viewership is down and ad revenue is down. And so the people everyone feels it, and live streams, well, I mean, people like them. So creators are responding to what people want. But people who want to watch multiple creators or who already have a diverse set of interests and a lot of people, it's a little bit overwhelming because the volume has picked up.
Here, I'm spilling them. I don't want to spill it.
It's just a sign of the times.
This is all I can eat.
Okay. It's just a sign of the times, and you don't got to be here all the time. I didn't mean to make it sound like we're fine hanging out with whoever's able to be here. If you have something else to watch, that's fine too.
No, it's in.
And
It says, like Mexican Spec, Thursday is usually a free day. I try to keep it that way. Sorry about that. Here, here's what happened. Kim has a meeting on Thursday night. There's a live that I go in every Thursday. It's a CB radio thing. And if anybody's into that, the name of that is 390 Wagon Master, and he comes on at 8 o'clock Central. And he does a couple hours CB radio, crazy stuff. It is more just like talk about everything. So we don't usually do anything on Thursday night except that. And Kim says, "You want to go live tonight?" And I go, "I don't know." Or she said that last night because I set it up 24 hours in advance. Well, we were a couple minutes late in here because we were both hustling, trying to get everything up and running. So I don't know. Maybe we won't do it Thursday night again. Maybe we will. I don't know. It was a rush getting it in here, getting going on time. What is
No,
this?
this isn't our green screen. This is the real of green. This is real
he's,
reality.
He's joking with us, I think.
All right. So, let me pause and then come back. You guys may not even perceive it, but I want to see if it'll correct anything.
Pause. Our pause.
I'm going to
My
pause. Okay. Everybody hold on tight.
Are we talking again?
Yeah.
Okay. Mexican Spec says race is less than 2 weeks away. Why aren't you working on the car and the van? Okay. Kim had a meeting tonight, and she's and it's dark, and she's about ready to leave, and she goes, "I'm taking the Dart," and I go, "What? No, take the Jeep. The Dart isn't reliable yet." But she took the Dart and she drove it into town, which is a pretty good little drive, and she went to the meeting, came out of the meeting, it started right up, she drove it home. Oh, she stopped at the grocery store on the way home. So that's like a whole just drive around at night and pretend it's a normal car.
Yes, you can breathe now. Is it better? Or is it the same darn messed up thing?
Yeah, corn nuts. I don't eat corn nuts very often. They're kind of
crunchy. He's got teeth.
I'm trying.
Got a mouthful of teeth.
I don't have any false teeth.
I'm missing more teeth than him, I think. I did not yet stop at the gas station because I have to take the tank. I have to open up the tank and take the sending unit out and put the new rubber gasket in. And we need to test the resistance. It's the same. Shoot. I'm not sure how to fix that.
Man, it's got to be a YouTube problem. It's not our mics. We're swapping mics and changing things here, and it doesn't. It's aggravating. Sorry about that. Can't eat sunflower seeds anymore. My teeth said no. Oh. Can you buy sunflower seeds that are shelled? Of course, then they go away in a hurry. Eat them fast.
Yeah, you do.
Oh, you called me from the grocery store. You said, "Is there anything you want?" And what did I say?
Mixed nuts.
Did you get any?
No.
Why'd you call me?
Shoot.
She called me and goes, "Do you want anything at the grocery store?" I said, "Yes, some mixed nuts." She didn't buy any. It's like, why'd you call me?
Mexican Spec, I can't. I cannot fill up the gas tank yet because the gasket around the sending unit is old and cracked, and it will weep gasoline until the tank is half empty. So,
and the new one came in today. She ordered it, and it's the whole, that sheet metal pressed ring thing that has a gasket on it. That thing that sticks in there and turns. Lock ring, that's it. She got a new lock ring today.
And I would have pulled the car.
Did you bring that stuff up that was on the shelf there? We ran out without our stuff. We set it there so we wouldn't forget it.
We're so damn disorganized.
Man.
Welcome to the stream, Dr. Go.
Well, there's a guy that comes in here sometimes, not often, but I think he's, what is he? Boston kid, 1972. K. Nelson. Anyway, he sent me some stuff too, and I wanted to bring that up. It's just.
Oh, I'll go get it in a little bit here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I'm sorry. Go on with Dr. Go and go on.
Dr. Go says, I am late tonight as I was doing work on my YouTube channel trying to put in the work. Good job, Dr. Go. Congratulations with making progress. We are also putting in the work. Although we didn't get as much done today as I would have liked, but like, expectations are a bitch. Like sometimes you want to do stuff and then you just don't. I did laundry. That's a good thing.
K. Nelson. Kim, I drove a feather duster as a kid in college. My parents bought it for me. Wish I still had that car. Didn't know how special that thing was back then. And Kim, what do I always say about all the cars I had back then?
All those things.
All those same things. I didn't know. They were just old cars when I had them. And now I look back and go, what was wrong with me? I should have kept them all. But of course, I didn't have a place for them. Yeah. Buff is drinking blood.
It's vegan blood, so it's okay.
You know what this is? It's some kind of powder I stuck in here in the water bottle. It's dragon fruit. Dragon fruit. Dragon, like a dragon, not like dragging.
KJ Kylie says, Kim, watch Bad Tree. They had a sending unit leak on their A body. Okay. I'll have to watch. Did they offer some kind of, I mean, I've already had it open.
She's had it open numerous times and used the old part.
I knew that the gasket needed replaced, but I didn't have one on hand, and it was time to put it back together. So I just put it back together knowing that it was going to need dealt with later, and now it's later. So I don't think I need to watch a video on how it's done, but maybe I'll put it on 1.5 times speed and just let them go. And then maybe they'll show me something I don't already know, but I do need to figure out the fuel gauge.
As soon as I was finished washing my black car, it started raining. Damn Murphy, that's what Mexican Spec says. You know, Mexican Spec, every time that happens, I always say the same thing. I should have just gone out there and put some dish soap on the car and let it rain, and it would have washed itself. But instead, that's what happens.
And we can't have the car in here yet because I blew up the garage. I'm going to show them.
You're going to show the garage?
I am.
Well, there's this big pile of airfoil wing leading edge molds and foam parts, so you can't see anything. But now they can see. That's where the Dart was.
There's that engine from a Subaru. Oh, here, I'll move this so you can see. There's an engine from a Subaru. And there is an old bin of fire damaged. What are these bottles? Do you got a paper towel so you can hold this without getting it on you?
No, I don't want to.
Stay Clean RCP Complete Radiator Protection. See, they all. Oh, they can't see it. Let me turn this back. Anyway,
well, you haven't finished the showing.
There's a bunch of stuff. Too much stuff.
There was cool stuff over there you didn't show.
Really? What stuff is cool?
Like the front of a Studebaker.
Oh, they'll get to see that. I was going to discuss that with you once we get into the stream. That purse doesn't. I know. I told him it doesn't match his shoes at all. We were late, and he didn't have time to move all his stuff from one purse to the other.
Cool stuff over there, and you're showing him empty bottles.
Well, what's cool?
Well, you turned the camera away.
We got a bunch of cans of spray paint from 30-year-old spray paint. Is that what it is?
Well, it's funny. Sometimes we pick one of those cans up and it works.
I think half these cans. I sprayed some of this liquid lubricant, and it was good. This stuff is 30 years old, and it was in a fire, and it's still might be as good as what you can buy today.
Okay, let me swing the camera around. You put the camera back.
Where's it wrong?
I'm trying to get the shop there. Okay, now the camera's back where you were walking down through the shop showing things, okay. And you have a tote and stuff all over the place. Shove it all in there, yeah. Well, yeah, pick that thing up. That looks like what Mopar Al's working on, except it's 2 years older.
I'm wrecking it.
Don't wreck it. That's a 61 Studebaker Lark. Kim is now a 61 Studebaker Lark. Oh, yeah. You're taking it somewhere. Oh, we could see it real well there.
I wanted to hang it up where the black curtain is. Would you let me do that?
No.
Why not?
What if it comes crashing down?
Well, I will
Those
make it.
nails up there are not adequate to hold that thing.
Well, I will
Harry
put
says he's
nails that
listening,
are.
but he's cooking, so my hands are occupied.
Well,
What are you
stick it.
cooking? What's made of carbon fiber? The Studebaker?
Of course, that's what they use.
He says that's a clever disguise. All of this. The that nose piece. See, the whole front of the Studebaker's apart, and the glasses out of doors are off of it, and now it's sitting out in the carport here. But we're gonna have to get the aluminum car. We've kind of made a commitment to, if that little Spitfire runs, so we're gonna rebody it with and just make a from scratch aluminum body, and then somewhere in there we've got to do the Studebaker. So that Studebaker's coming up too, and I've got a 350 Chevy and a turbo 350 automatic for that car. So, okay, Ari says I made a chicken. Now I'm making chicken salad. Oh man, does that sound good? Kim,
Yeah, chicken salad.
I want to make a chicken salad. Oh, I can sign off on the chicken part, but not the salad. Mexican Spec doesn't like chicken salad, I guess. Yeah, Johnny C says Al's Lark is really starting to look great. Yeah, I watched his video tonight or earlier today, and yeah, it's looking really good. And he made a commitment. He's taking it to No Name Nationals. When I looked at it like 2 or 3 days ago, I'm thinking, man, you're dreaming. That thing's not going. Well, now I'm looking at it going, yeah, it's going. It may be on a trailer, and I don't know if he'll race it, but he maybe will. It's looking pretty good. What am I doing here? You guys are salad people. One of my favorite things is chicken salad. When I worked in Sharon, Pennsylvania, I had a guy working with me, and he goes, my sister started working in a sandwich shop, this little local sandwich shop. And at lunchtime, he goes, let's order. They deliver. So she sent us a menu or something. So there's chicken salad sandwich on there. And so I ordered that. And the chicken salad sandwich, I'll reach over here. It was like this big, huge bread, and I got it. It was the best chicken salad I ever had, and she worked there about 6 months, and the guy went out of business. It's like, oh man, I want that recipe. That was like 30 years ago. God, I like chicken salad. Don't know why. You know what else is good? My mother, Thanksgiving. Okay, Kim, we got the camera pointed at an empty space. Now I thought you were gonna go over there and work on something.
I'm working. I'm
Okay.
working.
Well, then I gotta turn the camera back
Okay.
because they're listening too.
I allow you.
They're listen. I just turned it because I thought you were over there. So we're still sort of here. So
I'll give you a little more. We don't want you all the way out in the weeds.
in the weeds.
There.
Okay. So every Thanksgiving, my mother would cook a turkey. And there were 5 of us in the family, but we were little kids. We didn't eat that much, and she'd be making turkey, and then the next day turkey, and the next day turkey sandwiches, and then she'd start cutting it all up into little pieces and make turkey salad, and that was really good. I remember that well. That was really good, and I don't know what she put in all that stuff. There's a couple of things I got from her, a couple of recipes, but mostly I didn't, and she passed away like 24 years ago. Should have been paying attention, but I wasn't. And the way I cook, I always say I cook so it's safe to eat, but it doesn't necessarily taste good. Kim knows how to cook and make things taste good. Kim cooks things. You know what she does? She'll get out some piece of meat or ground meat or chicken or whatever she's making, and she goes out and lights up the gas grill, and she cooks it out there. And she does squash out there. She does vegetables. She does everything on a gas grill. Maybe not everything, but almost everything on the gas grill. It's really good.
Yeah, I might be cooking tonight.
And I bought that crock pot many years ago, and used it very little because I was on the road a lot. It was here, just put away, you know. And then Kim moved here, and that crock pot's always going. She's always got something in that crock pot too. How many of you ever cooked a rabbit? Or did I bring this up one time? Uh-oh, Kim's over there measuring the front of the Studebaker. Why?
I want to hang it up here.
I don't want it hanging up.
It'll be wonderful.
What if it comes down on us?
It won't come down. I'm going to hang it up with hangers so it's up there. Just like, what if the front bumper falls off the car? It's not going to. It isn't going to connect.
It's like my mother, she hated guns. You know, there'd be a unloaded gun in the house. We didn't even have ammo for it.
Exactly.
What if it goes off and kills somebody? You know, guns on in a display case, and we got no ammo. You know, it's not going to go off. So, let's see. Tim says, I've got a lot more respect for Just Mopar Joe. I spent all afternoon in the engine bay of my truck scrubbing it out to get ready to paint the fender wells. I was soaked. Oh yeah, that's fun, isn't it? You know, Kim and I, didn't we do a video on that with the Valiant?
Which one's that?
When we were down at Uncle Tony's, and it was before we brought the Valiant up here. We had the hood open or off, I don't remember which, and there's no engine in it, and the transmission was there, so we tied the transmission up. It was a greasy, grimy mess, and we took Tony's pressure washer, which was leaking all over, and we re-O-ringed this pressure washer.
Yeah.
And then it worked really well. And then we used oven cleaner, and we cleaned the inside of that Valiant out. We got soaking wet.
Oh yeah.
Of course, and grease and grime.
We
And
really did a nice job, though.
but we did a nice job. So yeah. And the video probably made it look easy. but I'm sure we videoed that. That's like well over a year ago.
Sorry about the noise.
Kim's up there gonna make. How are you gonna hang that? Are you gonna like put wires or something or is it just gonna be hooked over the edge of a nail or something?
No, I'm gonna have to wire it.
Kay Nelson says, "You two are such good friends. I'm enjoying all of your live feeds. It gives me joy. Thank you." Kay Nelson. Kay. Is that like, I don't know, I guess it doesn't matter. I was going to say, thank you, sir. And I thought, no, it might be ma'am. I don't know. It's Kay Nelson.
I'm glad you enjoy it, because we like being here, and we're going to keep doing it for as long as we can. And
Okay, we got to be quiet. Oh, there's sirens going by.
they can't hear it.
Man, loud sirens going by.
Yeah.
Out on the main road. The main road's like out a little ways from us, so you know we can hear it well.
It's not far,
but the mic doesn't pick it up. I mean, we're not on the main road, but the main road is close enough.
Yeah.
We hear the
well,
sirens go
there's
by.
houses on the other side of the road, but then there's a main road.
Okay, so Olive says, I like the Mustang 2 hatches well enough. I suppose. What were we talking about? Oh, does anybody like the Mustang 2? You know, here's how I feel about the Mustang 2. It's the best Pinto made. Okay? It doesn't feel like a Mustang when I'm in one, but it says Mustang on it. But they're okay cars. And you know, the Mustang 2 front end really turned into something that's used by look at Mopar Al's car, got Mustang 2 derivative front end on it.
Yeah.
And yeah, I like Mustang 2s, but if I had my choice of all Mustangs, you know, it'd be a 67 fastback, or it'd be mostly the early Fox bodies, because I like the dash better, and the 05, 06, 07, maybe 08 fastbacks, the ones that kind of look like 67 Mustangs. Those are probably my favorite ones. Mustang 2's okay. There are Mustang people that truly hate them, but yeah, no, I think they're okay. You don't have Mustang 2 to see the car, though. The 78 Mustang II Mach 1 in the US only had the 2.8 V6. The Mexican car obviously had the 302 V8. I thought they had 302s here. See, the first year Mustang 2 here had the low hood and the small grill. The grill was squinched down. 75, that was 74. 75 and later, the grill got big around, the hood was higher, and I think that was done to put the
Sorry.
She's making noise.
I'm
To
done
make the
making-
302 in them. But I know Mexico got them the first year with 302s, so I don't know how all that worked. You skip a lot of messages, but yeah, I know it's going fast and I'm talking too much. Sorry, I'm trying.
Oh, don't give him such a hard time. The man is really working.
Mexican specs give me a hard time about you skip a lot of my messages.
Mexican spec makes a lot.
What do you like, Mustang? Yeah, the Mustang 2. I'm trying. I'd have to scroll back. That wasn't the question, Buff. Nobody will choose a Mustang 2 over any other style. Oh, just if we like the Mustang 2 by itself? I don't know. I thought I answered that. When I had the motor out of my wife's car 5 years ago, I finally had the opportunity to clean under the hood. I was soaked with sweat, reaching everything I could get. Being tall made it hard to reach. Being tall made it hard to reach. I'm short. That's my complaint. I'm too short to reach. And he says he's too tall to reach.
Tim said
That's
he's
Dr. Go.
getting that truck cleaned out.
Danny Boyd's here. Hey, Kim was
Don't give him too much.
Kim was upset with you because you went to Kiwi's
You were
live
Kiwi
instead of
live
ours.
stream.
And she goes, he's a traitor. He's over Kiwi's live. And I said, well, he's a Ford guy. I understand why he's there. And we actually had one of the best lives we've ever had that night, so I can't get too upset. Johnny C, my lady friend had the King Cobra. It was cool. Yeah, I had a friend that had, it was a Cobra. It was a Mustang 2 Cobra. And he liked all the old Fords. He had a 57 Thunderbird, and he had 57 Ford wagons, and a lot of old Fords. And then he had that brand new, what'd you say it was? The King Cobra. He had one of those. He bought it brand new. And I talked to him not long ago, and he's restoring one of those GMC front-wheel drive motorhomes that were made in the 70s. Let's see, Mexican spec. No, the 302 was optional in some of the cars. The Mach 1 only had the V6 in the US. The Cobra 2 could have come with a V8. See, you know all that stuff so much better than I do, because I don't know the packages and the options and how it all worked out. Because I worked on the cars and I'd open the hood and then I'd see, okay, it's got a V8. Or, oh, it's got a V6, whatever it was. And I really didn't know why it was there. The King Cobra Mustang 2, the 302. This is what Dr. Go says. King Cobras were cool. Danny Boyd knows his Fords. Mexican spec knows every car. That whole era, he really knows.
Oh, yeah.
And where I know the cars is like, probably like, maybe 54, 5, definitely 56 up to like mid late 60s, maybe 70, something like that. That 55 to 70 era of cars, I'm really sharp on those because, as a teenager, that's what I had. I didn't have any money, and those were the old cars then. Well, 1970 was brand new and when I got my license, but I knew the cars well. And then my first radiator shop, 1975. So the cars I was working on then were 60s and early 70s cars. I was in those just all the time. Every day of my life working on those year cars. And I got into stuff. I work on radiators, but then, pretty soon it was water pumps, and then it was timing chains, and then I'd buy and sell broken cars. So I was doing a lot of everything you can imagine. Hers is automatic black color. Tom Brown, what's up, gang? Good evening, Tom Brown. How you doing? The one I posted is a 320 Oh, probably a 302 4-speed manual. Wow. Cars are bringing good money these days. Yeah, I bet they are. 302 with a man. Hey, Mexican spec, the Mustang 2s did. I know they did weird stuff in Mexico. Did they any of them get 289s? I know 289s in Mexico were used way later than they were here. I just wonder if they ever one of those ever found its way into a Mustang too. Danny boy, you all are off and live, whereas Kiwi isn't. That played into it. I need to just set up another PC. Yeah, have like a bank of PCs go on with all the lives. uh, the well, see, Dan, our studio live is Tuesday nights, and we did that because nobody else in this group of no name national kind of group, whatever you want to call us, was doing Tuesday nights, so we did them.
True.
Well, she's gonna argue with me, but that's why we did it. It was a kind of a clean night.
Kill Customs was doing one, and we just stepped right all over his live. You always forget that.
I don't know. So anyway, that's, and then anytime we come up the shop, we just kind of impromptu live. Okay, I'm getting behind. I can't go this fast. Let's see here. Mexican spec, all Mustang 2s in Mexico had the 302 V8, even 74. Yeah, 74 here. No. Did they have the big grill in 74 like they did in 75 here? Okay, my family bought Fords. Mexican spec says my family bought Fords. It's a long list. Olive, oh, that looks all right. Mexican, I like low key of it. I'd be interested. She must be looking at his cars. I suspect, did the hood change? See, that's what I want to know. I asked him that question too. Tom Brown's going, careful, Kim. What are you, on a ladder or something, or carrying something? I'm not paying attention.
Yeah.
I suspect, I don't know. I would have to see them side by side. Yeah, the 75 Mustang 2s here had a much taller this direction grill, and the hood was higher. In 74, I think they look better, but...
Oh, man, I wish it was in the studio. I could bring up pictures.
Yeah, it's all right. We can't bring up pictures today. Oh, Dean Stevenson's here. Hello, how you doing? Man, we got a crowd going now. Early we had like 2 people in here. I have to admit, I've never spotted the difference. He's talking Mexican spec. Danny Boy, 3 options. Dean Stevenson, I'm Mexican spec. You guys made the best 302s. I'm a fan of the Pinto, but I have never considered the Mustang 2 as a replacement. They're asking big money for them here. Really? Speed wobbles. Well, the Mustang 2, what I really like about the Mustang 2 is that they copied the front suspension, and there's so many front suspensions now that are Mustang 2 copies that you can use on other cars, And I suppose you could tear up a Mustang 2 and do that, but I hate to tear up a good car just to rob parts off of it. What I hear, and identify them. Now, the Mustang 2 I just posted does have it. Yeah, I haven't seen it. Mexican spec, I'll have to look at it. I was just looking at another one of your cars earlier today. Something else. It popped up on...
post a link to it? He's more than welcome to...
Oh, yeah, go ahead and post a link here if you want. He can do that.
He's good to us.
We're up in the shop tonight, so we can't go clicking on this stuff and looking at it from here, but I was in there on your site earlier today on Instagram looking at your cars. What was it you put up that I looked at it today, Mexican spec. I can't remember what it was. It was something new, I thought. I think Mex is getting a sense of my taste. Well, maybe you'll be buying a car from him. You'll have to make a trip to the border, and well, of course he's delivering in the U.S. now, I guess, or he will be. It was internally changed in Dearborn, copied. To have it other than black buckets with no air. Who's Rob? Rob. Where's Rob? Who's Rob? I missed somebody. Oh, I'm sorry I'm missing people. The Panther front end is the Mustang 2 for trucks. Yeah, the Panther front end, that thing will work real well on a wider car or on a pickup, I posted a 74 Mustang 2 that started life as a Mach 1, but turned into a Cobra 2. Had a factory V8. You posted something before that, though, because or maybe it just showed up on my phone today. That happens, too. See, I get other stuff on Instagram, like my son puts stuff on Instagram, and then you both come up at the same time, but then when I go to yours, sometimes I see a car that you just posted, and sometimes it's from a day or two ago. Dean Stevenson. What is this? Kim.
What's up?
Dean Stevenson's posting something in another language.
Dean, go easy
Was
on
able
them.
to change key stampings on the Mexican 302 small block fitted. I don't know who that is. Must be a racer or somebody. Rob's Rods and Streetcars. Next week we will have U.S. delivery. Wow.
Congratulations.
You're building that business up, Mexican Spec. That's great. Max is working on his Savannah connection, so I could probably get on a Greyhound bus or something. You know how many times I've gotten on a Greyhound bus to go pick up a car? Oh. Geez, there's a story. I don't know if I can tell a story because the chat's moving pretty quickly. Years ago, I was married, and my wife then bought a car on eBay, and it was a Mercury Sable wagon, and she really liked those cars, and hers had gotten wrecked. Somebody rear-ended her and wrecked it, so she bought one. And I said, "Well, where is it?" She goes, "It's in Boston." I go, "Boston?" And we were in Ohio, and I said, "Boston, Massachusetts?" She goes, "No, I don't think so. I think it's in Boston, Ohio." And I said, "I don't think there is a Boston, Ohio. Bring it up." So she brings it up, and I look, and I go, "It's in Boston, Massachusetts. You got to be careful where you're making deals, So I got on a Greyhound, and I went to Boston and picked up this car and drove it back.
Here, check it out. You'll be able to see.
Okay. Now I got to... Oh, this place is a location. Wherever this is. Crown Vic, a front cross member in a dent side or bump side or even earlier trucks. Okay, what? Oh, we have like a Studebaker up in the ceiling. It was a VW thing. That's what I was looking at. The VW thing. I posted VW. Yeah, it's a Safari and a Diplomat. You know what? That's what I looked at. I looked at the Safari, and then I scrolled down and I looked at the Diplomat. So I looked at both those earlier today. Yeah, the Safari. I didn't know they called that a Safari. Yeah, we called it a thing. It was a kind of a copy of the World War II. What'd they call that thing? A Kugelwagen or something in Germany. Tom Brown Buff, did you get my pics of that strange little Toyota Corolla? Okay, I did not open your emails. You had several of them sitting there. Tuesday night, I'll open those, and or maybe I'm open before then, but I'll open them and I'll show them on Tuesday night, because Tuesday nights we're in the you're making noise.
Sorry, I didn't think it was that loud.
Tuesday nights we're in the studio. We've got a lot more computers and screens, and I can open stuff and bring up pictures and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, they're there. Auto Salvage Outlaws, the Mexican 3 Auto Salvage Outlaws is here. Good evening.
Welcome to the stream.
The Mexican 302 had more beef than USA 302s. A lot of racers like the Mexican 302. Really? Tom Brown says it looks great up there.
Thank you. It won't get messed up like it's been getting messed up where it's laying. It's out of the way, but it's in plain sight. I like it. We gotta have solutions, because I don't want to put it outside.
Robert Owen. Hey, folks. Good evening, Robert Owen.
We got no place to store all this stuff, like these motors that I gotta get out of here. Anybody want a Subaru motor?
That's funny. You would think most states have a Boston. I said, yeah. I bought it it's in Boston. Where? Boston, Ohio? No, I don't think there's a Boston, Ohio. I think it's probably in Massachusetts. Now I gotta go fetch a thing. Luckily, it ran well. It was a really nice car. The leather interior and everything. I got in that. If you bought it from a dealer on eBay in Massachusetts, and when I got there, they said it isn't quite ready, and they had a detail shop. And they had like 4 people working on it. When I got in it, it was like spit and polish, beautiful car. And I drove it back to Ohio, pretty long drive, and it was like, man, this thing's nice. Next spec, I got a 72 Ford Taurus with 66K original miles. Looks like a new one. A 92 Taurus. That front end hung up there is Danny Boyd says that front end hung up there is awesome. I hope it doesn't come falling down.
It won't come down. It's got 2 really good wood screws on both ends.
2 wood screws. It won't
4
fall down.
total wood screws into the joists.
Yeah, it's a 61 Studebaker Lark. The rest of the car is out on the other side of that wall, and it's.
Did you notice I put the grill insert back in to make it look?
Oh, the grill insert was out of it.
Yeah.
Oh, what'd you do? Wire that in there or something?
No, I used the nuts. They were there with it.
Oh, you put the nuts in it. Well, that's cool. Gee, noisy. I'm trying to keep up with the chat. I'm sorry, people, if I miss some chats. Oh, and there's Boston Kid 1972. You know what, dude? I left that stuff sitting in the house. He sent me some really cool stuff. And I'll
You want me to go up and get it?
we left everything sitting on that little table that we were supposed to bring up here. We were in such a hurry, we left everything sitting there.
I'll see you in a minute.
Okay, Kim's gonna go get it. So I don't know how long you can stay here, Boston Kid. So let's see, Boston. Oh yeah, Boston Mills, Ohio. Yeah, we were living in Geneva on the Lake at the time. Maybe Geneva. Maybe it's just Geneva because we were in both places. But yeah, I ended up riding a bus to New York City and then a bus to Boston. Wasn't that fun? Greyhound it. Need to wire up the headlights. Oh, you know what? You know why it only has one headlight in it? Can you guess why there's only one headlight in it? Because I needed a headlight for the Valiant, and I stole it out of there. Yes, her channel name is true. What's with all the foam? Oh, the foam. You know what those are. Boston Kid, come on. You know what those are. Those are leading edge ribs that have not been cut out for an airfoil. And I'll never use them now. I don't know what we're going to use them for. Well, see, Boston Kid. Boston Kid, I've known him for a long time, and we were both airplane guys, and he flew those airplanes a lot. So he's just giving me a hard time. Auto Salvage Outlaws. I bought a 69 Torino off eBay for $250 and had a 429 Cobra Jet under the hood and got tons of parts for free. Yeah, I traded it for 66. Oh, this is cool. Okay. This, let me put the top on this so I don't spill my drink. Because I will spill. I've learned. Yeah, they are D-cells, but no aviation this Thursday. Boston Kid, you know what we did to make room in the shop? We cut up the D-cell mold and put all the steel outside. I've been using that steel for something else. That hurt to cut that tooling.
Oh, man, I felt so bad.
She talked me into cutting up that tooling.
We talked about it. We talked about it extensively. Are you ever going to be able to use it? You look for someone to buy it. There's nobody who wants to buy it. The cost of transportation to even give it away was just prohibitive.
So I have no way to build wings anymore. And so now I'm going to build aluminum cars. Okay, so Boston Kid.
Isn't fucking amazing?
Boston Kid sent me a gift.
Yeah, that was so nice.
And it's this. I don't know if it says Titan on it. And it says there's 3 of them. So I'll open it. Actually, I had pre-opened it. What they are is their 1/4 inch drive on this end and their Phillips or another 1/4 inch drive on this end or a flat blade. And what this is, you put it, I'm going to have to, oh, I can't reach the toolbox anymore. It's moved. You put a ratchet in here and then you can spin this with your finger so you can tighten it up or loosen it and then take this and just spin it out. It's pretty cool. And he bought me a set of 3 of them. So, thank you. That was a gift from Boston Kid 1972.
Thank you very much. We don't expect anyone to send us any kind of gifts, but we really appreciate the generosity and the thought that goes into something like that. You must really think highly of us if you're willing to give us that much attention. We don't deserve it.
Boston Kid now, he's you know the big flight simulators that airline pilots fly and they learn to fly the airplanes and they get recurrent training in them and all that. He's one of those guys that works on, operates, whatever, the simulators for the training for airline pilots, which is a really cool job. So he's still in aviation, and he's a pilot as well. Dean Stevenson, it's what the Cherokee Indians used to build houses by foam.
Oh, yes.
Pay a royalty to every Cherokee.
Do they cover it in Adobe, or how do they do that?
Dean Stevenson, I'd start paying ASO US $1,000 per foam block. The list auto salvage outlaws. I'm sorry, I got the hiccups. They listed the 66 Fairlane and sold it for $18,500 in the early 2000s. Yeah.
Nice.
Pete Stevenson, I see 12 grand. You know what we'll use that foam for? I hot wire cut those, but we can cut them, we can form them, we can do all kinds of stuff. But we build that aluminum car. I'll probably be using some of it for to form aluminum there, and you'll kind of get to see the process. Maybe I'll build some kind of jig. I don't know.
I got your present.
Oh, this is what I normally drink in the water.
Present.
Tang, 0 sugar, diabetic Tang. And Boston Kid, you remember out at the test site where we worked? Because everybody knows I worked at a test site. You know, we weren't allowed to talk to the aliens because they were over there and we were over here. They all know this. So remember they had these little packs of stuff. Everybody had these, and they had all different kinds. But this was my favorite. These little packs, and they're just enough for a water bottle to make a drink. And that's kind of what got me started. That was out at that test site, having water bottles with the little packages in them. And he and I worked out there together for a while. He was one of the guys that wasn't allowed to. He wasn't allowed to talk to the aliens either. Concrete impregnated foam. No, that foam is actually 1 pound. Why don't the words come out? 1 pound EPS, which is expanded bead polystyrene. So it's 1 pound per cubic foot. And it's the same stuff they use like when you buy electronic equipment and you open up the box and there's those foam all formed around the electronic parts. Same stuff as that. Land and Custom Classics. Good evening. How you doing? Howdy, fellas. What about Cam?
Welcome, Landon.
And I'm sure Olive is here too. Let's see, but that's okay. You can say hi to the fellas.
Thank you, everyone, for coming to visit.
Yeah, we got 25 people in here now. Dr. Go, nice gift. I have an old ratchet that has that knurled ring built right. Okay, yeah. I've had a couple of those before. Buff, you gonna do a bad Chad on us? Fabricating? You know, bad Chad he welds and chops tops and does all this stuff with steel. But my plan is to build a car body from scratch with aluminum. And I got so much aluminum sheet metal here from, it was meant to build airplanes with. But I'm just gonna build a car. And we've got what is that thing? A Spitfire. Spitfire.
What is it, a 71 model
It's a
Spitfire?
71 Spitfire, and it's got a really, really nasty, rusty Bondo body on it. We're going to take that body off, and I'm just going to build a new body for it. And just use it as is.
Spitfire.
Tooling. Okay, Dean Stevens says just use it as is. You've got a Tesla Cybertruck without
Here's the
tooling.
carburetor for the Spitfire, all refurbished and ready to go. Taken apart, cleaned up. Oh, but it's nice. No sticky anything. Everything's good and freed up, ready to install.
Say hi to Kim.
Hey, everybody.
That's what Dean Stevens said. HR, yeah.
Hey, here's that big hose you have, that big air hose.
Lennon, but you aren't hit as Nightbot. What hose?
Remember you said I have one of those big Flexzilla hoses and I don't know where it is?
Oh, you just found it?
It's in here. Well, I mean, it wasn't really lost. It was just, I didn't know where it was.
Oh, well, she just found my big Flexzilla hose.
Oh, here's the 727-904 ASTG rebuild book for automatic transmission.
That must be yours.
Yeah.
Show it. Put it in front of the camera. Look at what Kim found.
Here's the book. No part of this book may be used in reproduction for any purposes not specifically notified in therein. I've got 1, 2, 3 transmissions here. There's one sitting outside, and there's another sitting in the back of the van. So we're gonna have to make some.
Look what Dean Stevenson says. Zenith Stromberg CD150. He looked at carburetor, knew what it was.
Knew what it was. Yeah, I think it is a 150.
Olive, I wonder how many other airplane parts you could work into that Spitfire. Oh, I got that rudder here that Boston kid.
It did have oil in it. I'll have to look up how to maintain that properly.
Oh, he says, CDS 150. Oil that dashpot. Oh, man.
Do they think we'll be able to get it to run? What do they think?
I don't know.
Are there odds on whether it'll ever run again or not?
I know what'll happen. I'll build an intake manifold, stick one of those Autolite, what is that thing? 2100?
Oh, you want to put Forza? No, we can't put that big carburetor on there.
You know how I am. Autolite carburetors, I love them. The 2100 and the 4100. Those things are great. And I just won one.
Jeff is going to bring it.
Two hacks Jeff had some kind of, can anybody name what this carburetor is? And I named what it was. And so he gave it to me. I won the carburetor, which is perfect because I really like those carburetors. So now I've got a 4100. Again, haven't had one for many, many, many years. So you know where that 4100 is going to end up. I'm sure I'm going to have a 4-barrel intake for that 318 poly. I'll put a Ford carburetor on it. Dean, my arrows are located. My arrows are loaded. My arrows are loaded.
I don't know what else we're going to hang up.
Okay, this time it's going to be Tang.
Hang some other things.
I came up here, I was really thirsty.
I'm a little dizzy from running around.
Tang, don't get dizzy.
Well, it's time to take a little break.
She had a shirt on earlier that said Dizzy Izzy on it. Now you don't. You changed. You're like wearing like a go out kind of shirt in the shop doing work. Miss One-Eyed Cat, good evening. How you doing? Well, I just got done paying bills. All paid for September and some for October. Oh, this is really cool when you get ahead a little. Those carbs are those carbs are trash. I have one like new off a 62 Thunderbird. You want to get rid of it? Man. I don't know why he doesn't like them. I love those carburetors.
Oh, I have a fuel pump. on order. It'll be here tomorrow, so we'll be using that probably for the Spitfire, an electric one.
Well, okay.
Unless the mechanical one does somehow magically work, but I'm not going to count on it.
We need to get a. The only thing I don't like about electric fuel pumps is if you crash or you end up and you got something open, you're spraying fuel everywhere. And I like to have some kind of safety. Like Mazdas, back in the early rotary day Mazdas, they had electric fuel pump in the back, a little facet pump. Well, it was a Mazda version of a facet pump.
Yeah.
And they had a fuse that had a weight on it. And if you crashed, that weight, of course, would keep going and it'd break the fuse. So it would shut the fuel pump off. And I guess Fords have one. I don't know how it works. They got a switch that resets it. So I'm gonna have to look into that.
Some of the vehicles have rollover switches.
So I'm a little apprehensive using electric fuel pumps, but I guess if we have some kind of safety thing, we could make it work. Sure, why not? Those cars are trash. Bring it to No Name Nationals. I'll make a deal with you. Walter P. Chrysler would arise and take out the whole Ford family if you put a 4100 Autolite on a Mopar. Bad buff. Oh man.
It does run really good on that car.
Oh, I've got a 2100 on my Valiant on the
Man, it.
on the slant six. It runs
We were farting
great.
around with the Carter, and I just couldn't get it to go right. But it was messed
It was
up.
an old ruined Carter. Yeah.
And I was fiddling and fiddling, but we put that Autolite carb on there, and it just come right around. It was so happy.
I was asking Mercury rollover switch. It's more than that because my father was in a he had an '04 what's the Ford Taurus. He got rear-ended, which pushed him into another car, and then his car wouldn't start afterwards. And the damage wasn't bad enough that he couldn't drive away. It was damaged, but he could drive it to a repair shop, and it wouldn't start. And a police officer there opened up the trunk and went in and pushed some kind of switch, and then it ran. And it was something that kept the electric fuel pump from running.
Oh,
So it's more than rollover because it was a bam from the rear end and then bam into the car in front of him. So I don't know what crash ended the electric fuel pump, but the cop knew how to fix it. None of us are ever done paying our bills. Yeah, tell me about it. Man, I'm on Social Security now, so I get paid once a month, and the money comes in, and the same day I pay my bills, and it's like a vacuum cleaner comes in and cleans out my account. Although I have a little left, but it's not like when I was working. Let's see here.
She's out here hollering about the front rent. She'll be lucky to get any back rent.
What's that? If I could get to No Name Nationals, I would get
She
it
ain't
to
gonna
you.
get none of it.
Why you're not gonna go to what are you reading that I missed?
I'm reciting a line from a song.
Oh, and I think you're reading something
James
I missed.
Stevenson knows what I'm talking about.
He's like a master mechanical scientific guy that's also musical, which I'm not. Oh, more corn nuts.
Yeah.
See, the carbs are kind of high in those, Kim. I can't eat any of them. I'm eating.
Let's see how many they say.
But I bet it's high.
Oh,
You
a
want-
third of a cup is a lot of grams.
Yeah, and I haven't eaten a third of a cup. But
No, there's only 4 servings for this whole bag, but you can't have any more.
I
That's
can't
it.
have any more. That's right. They're good though, I guess. I just got to let them soak a little, and then they aren't quite as crunchy. None of us are ever done. Okay, I already read that. If I could get to, why don't you come to No Name Nationals? Yeah, I know you're way up in the
Don't twist people's arms.
cold white north. It's a long ways. I know.
Most people can only do 1 or 2
Well,
outings per year.
I give Dean Stevenson a hard time about not showing up, but I know he can't. It's just just poking at him a little.
Look, we want to be able to see everyone, but do not stress yourself emotionally or financially for a once-a-year event.
No, that's what I was saying. I'm just poking at him a little.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
you know why we can go.
I'm sorry you
because
can't,
we're only
Brandon.
3 hours away.
Yeah. If we couldn't drive there, it would be a no. We couldn't fly there. And honestly, it is a stretch. It is a financial not burden, not hardship. We have to plan all year. We can't
All
go running
year,
all over the place.
we set money aside so we can do this event. That's the only reason we can go.
Yeah.
But we're trying to post
So
more
go
videos.
easy on people.
Yes, yes, yes. I think they know I'm just poking at them a little.
Okay.
Dean Stevenson calls it a Torass.
Hmm.
Do they have those Torasses down there? It's the inertia. It's the inertia switch. Yeah, okay.
Oh yeah, inertia switch. That's the right name for it.
We got the Ford Freestyle part for the car. It's the alternator. Yeah, the reset button. Landon Custom Costs. I work every day and can't afford the trip. Man, I know how that is. Most of my life, I worked and worked and worked and worked, and I really couldn't take vacation. You know, they just couldn't do that. Sometimes I'd say I'm taking vacation. It'd be like 1 or 2 days and adjacent to a weekend. And then I'd be in a big hurry driving somewhere. Dean Stevenson and I have fuel vaporization problems.
That probably means something deeper than what it says straight. Dr. Go says, if you live stream from No Name Nationals, we can all be there with you. So, we may not be live streaming from No Name Nationals.
Here's the thing. Here we have an outstanding connection.
Yeah.
And at No Name Nationals, I know they have some Wi-Fi available. But everybody that goes to No Name National is going to be using it. So that might be a little tough.
I mean, they have a really good connection to track, but to expect for everyone to live stream at the same time, it's not going to work. It's going to be glitchy, it's going to crash, and then everybody's going to suffer. We are going with no intention of live streaming. We will record some highlights, some pictures of cars, some conversations with people, just like we did last year.
Oh, excuse me.
Maybe a few race outcomes. Stuff that's most relevant to us, and then we will let the other people do the same for themselves. It's like a courtesy. And honestly, going there with the full intention of making tons of content,
excuse me.
it actually sucks all the fun out of the weekend.
What we may do is we'll be in a hotel. We're not camping out there. What we'll do, maybe, not for sure, maybe, is we'll take a little video, and maybe we'll put up a video from the hotel room or something. But it's a busy time. When we're there, it's a busy time. Boston, excuse me, corn nuts got my throat.
I
started sneezing and coughing and having a nose fit.
Take a minute, I'll read.
Well, Boston Kid, 67 911 had electric fuel, probably means pump, that took a ball peen adjustment to keep it running. Okay. Yeah, you go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay, Dean Stevens says, if you could donate ethanol or foam bricks to Auto Salvage Outlaw, then I can come. Ethanol or foam bricks? I don't understand why.
I don't know what's going on there.
They must be having some kind of problem with fuel, and
oh,
we'll have to watch and see what's going on with them.
You could donate ethanol. Yeah, I don't know.
Mexican Spec says, Buff, if you didn't work so much, you would have 50 kids.
No.
Same story with all of us. I'm not sure, Mexican Spec. Is that maybe?
I have two. I have a son and a stepson. And they're both doing well. In fact, one of them, the stepson, we're going out to eat with him tomorrow. So, man, are we going to live stream tomorrow? I don't know.
Well, that's why we set up we were going to go.
Oh, we're going to go have dinner earlier. That's right. Okay. So,
after John Wilburn.
Because he doesn't live here, but of course he did live here. He grew up here. So he's here seeing some of his friends. His his wife's parents live here, and so he's over here hanging out with his friends tonight for the, like he said, the first NFL game of the year. And I'm not a football person, so, but I guess he's really into that. So they're all hanging out together today. Um, let's see, your Atlanta custom classes got my new ignition system installed. Just have to borrow Barrow's dad's crimper for my spark plug wires.
Well, you'll be done real soon then. That sounds good. Get on it. Mexican Spec says the internet isn't the best at No Name National. Well, everyone is trying to use
Yeah,
it.
you got just enormous place full, and I mean full of YouTube content creators. They're all trying to live stream.
Yeah.
What do you think's gonna happen?
Yeah. So I figure leave the live streaming to like the promoter. Let John Wilburn do it. Let some of the big names do their live streaming. And then we just enjoy ourselves and maybe we'll get invited in some other people's live stream. But I mean, honestly, it's so exhausting. By the time it comes to do that kind of thing, it's hard to keep your energy up for the entire weekend. So in the evening after we're done, like it's not even dark yet, we're leaving the track. We go to the hotel room and we're asleep because we're not used to running around that hard. Like,
What do we do?
But
You were asleep, and and we started talking about, yeah, we're hungry, but she's sleeping. So there was some kind of a little restaurant. I walked over there and got food, and I brought it back.
oh, that's right, you did.
And it was a new restaurant. It wasn't even on. It wasn't even on Google Maps. It was
next
just
door.
there. And I walked over there.
Couldn't even get up off the.
And I ordered whatever it was, and I brought it back. And you ate something, and I brought a salad or something, and we ate. And then we were both like this, like I'm on a couch, like snoring.
Okay, I'm gonna catch up on chat. Dean Stevenson said I owned a right-hand drive
Oh.
UR 1998 XLT Explorer.
Boston Kid's taking off. Take care, man, and thanks for the gift. It's like
It's too kind. Thank you very much.
I'll probably do a short on it. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I wanted to catch him before he left.
Landon Custom Classics says an exploder. Holy cow, Dean. I have a Ford Bronco too. That's the closest thing I have to an exploder. I think it comes before the exploder, the Bronco. And then somebody is mentioning the Cologne engines in here later. But Dr. Go says, can someone build a Humvee with a satellite dish for Wi-Fi instead of a hot rod? I do understand about living in the moment at Nona instead of creating content. Yeah, it makes sense. Most people get it when you'd explain it to them. But it's easy as a content creator to look at everything as an opportunity to create content. And it is, but you just have to be aware of, situationally aware of like, well, everyone else is trying to create content too. So you don't want to butt heads with everyone. 60% of the 98 Explorer was from Belgium or Cologne, Germany anyways, screwed together with the steering wheel in the wrong place and a central Mustang handbrake and T-bar from the Louisville plant.
That would be Louisville.
I guess that explains why the bell housing is wrong. Boston Kid, have a good night. Miss One-Eyed Cat, yes, is you try to get internet, it don't work. There is not strong enough if everyone is on there to get on. Yeah. And then the same with like your phone. Oh goodness. Your phone signal is going to be sketchy at best. I'm sure they have a tower there, but like there's just so many people.
That's why I say all it says an update on how it's going. That's why I say we could upload just some kind of no name.
Yeah, last year we uploaded a video of the lineup on the track. And
we did that while we were there.
A lot of people really enjoyed that.
While we were there,
we uploaded right away that evening after there was that lineup of cars. When they do the photograph at the beginning where all the cars are on the track facing the wrong way. And I walked up and back to try and get all the cars. And that was fun. And I'll try and do it again. But, I mean, I can't commit to any particular thing unless it was like an agreement with John Wilburn, like, okay, your job is to be here and film this. And we're not quite that coordinated as a community just yet. Maybe we will someday.
What did we do? We put up the one because I gave Dallas that Dallas was lost his trailer and everything. He didn't have a place to stay and didn't have any food. And I gave him the hot dog cooker. And we videoed that. We put that up. Did we put that up from the hotel?
I don't know.
And then we put up the line of cars that you videoed. But
I have a bunch of videos from No Name Nationals last year. When we put them up, they got no views. Because everybody else was putting up No Name National stuff. And I figured, well, we'll just leave it. We don't even want to try and compete with everyone else. And so, and then a lot of people are just on to the next event anyways. So just enjoy it. Just enjoy it. Have conversations, make friends, meet people, take in the day. And some other people have already said, yeah, we get it. Tim says, I walked around the pits a lot talking to everyone. Walked down to the finish line once. Spent a lot of time around the bleachers by the start line.
God,
getting
we were right
smoked
there.
out from the burnout.
We were right there a lot, so we missed you.
I don't think we did.
Somehow we're going to have to figure out who's who. Because I'm sure he doesn't have like something tattooed on his face that says Tim 72 Demon.
Tim, we all need to wear name tags, except I think people can kind of sort out who I am.
You know who we are. If you see us, just walk up and go, hey, I'm Dean Stevenson. Don't do that because you won't be Dean Stevenson. But
we're learning. Pardon us if we're like in the moment and you're like, I'm this person, and we're like, because sometimes it's, there's so much going on. It's hard to take it all in.
Tim he nailed it. Good burgers there.
Yeah, we ate like 3 burgers that weekend.
Man, I'm not supposed to be eating the bread, but I'll have at least one burger there. That's the best concession stand I think I've ever been at in some kind of venue like that. I bought a lot of stuff like at sprint car races and things like that.
Dr. Go, the knowledge doesn't necessarily, but just like it is. It's super cool. You feel like you know the people if you follow them regularly. You know the car. You know the struggles that they've been through. You know the cool parts, the little, and then you get to really see it, right? And some people's cars, they look great on camera, like mine. Look great on camera, but when you look at them, they're a really real car. And you're like, whoa, this is not so special. I could do this, right? And,
well, like Wendy. I know Wendy, We've had her on here and knew her there. But, like, there's some people here, like Danny Boy. Man, I know your name. And Tim. Well, I guess we've seen Tim's picture. So I should know him. And Mexican Spec, we know what he looks like. He's like a big green thing right here where his face is. So if a green guy walks up to me, I'll go, hey, Mexican Spec. I'd like to meet you someday, man. But I know you can't go. I'm in each millisecond picking fly shit out of the pepper. Damn. A friend of mine always used to say, can I say this on here?
No.
Because that's like picking fly shit out of a pepper shaker with boxing gloves on. This guy used to always say that. Because we'd have something lost in the car, can't get it. Let's see, we're a family now. Yeah, Mexican Spec says, yeah, everybody will know us. Yeah, but we won't know everybody. Yeah, just introduce yourself. Just go, hey, pay attention to me for a second. I'm looking at something else,
Yeah, we're in the studio, but the garage is not far away. I'm going to go over to the garage and then show stuff. Isn't it neat how we have the garage and the green screen? Let me run off the green screen right here.
Where are you going? She's running off.
See? It's not a green screen.
It's real.
Look, I can move things for real. Right? It's nothing still.
Our contest recognition can be harder, too. If I ever run across a celebrity, I just have an awkward idea. I should
See?
know them from somewhere and say generic, how have you been and stuff. Man, okay, here we go with a movie. What was the movie that was the firefighters that were flying airplanes and it was all a big dream? And I can't think of the woman's name that was on there. She was sitting next to me on an airplane one time. I can't think of her name.
With the long hair?
She was sitting there and she was reading a script. You know, she was studying. So I didn't, a lot of times I talked to the person next to me on an airplane, but I thought, you know, she's like really famous. She probably gets everybody talking to her and she was busy. And I just, I probably said something. I probably said like, hi or good evening or something as I was buckling my seatbelt and then I left her alone. I can't think of her name, but I'll think of it.
I have met some celebrities, television celebrities, um, because some of you may not know this, but before I became Kim Fixes Things, a world famous, what? I'm
Okay.
not saying anything weird. A world famous Kim Fixes Things YouTuber. I was involved in some show business stuff in Pittsburgh. So we brought in, I would pick them up from the airport and take them to their lodging for the weekend, and then they would perform, and we would show them the town, and then we'd take them back to the airport. We had some celebrities that stayed in Pittsburgh so that they could see the sights and do multiple gigs in different states, and so they would fly into Pittsburgh, stay there, and sometimes they'd stay in my house. Because we had to spare room just for that purpose, and then they would go out to Ohio or down to West Virginia to various venues, and we did live streaming with people, and yeah, so I was very involved, although I was not in charge. I was just like a cog in the machine. I had no, but I got to meet the people, and they knew me, and I knew them, and that was really neat. That was the first time I ever in my life. I never really thought in my life that I would get to work with people who were famous, and they were just like us, and we fed them good. They always said, they're like, Pittsburgh's got the best food. We go other places, they just buy us like McDonald's. Like, oh, why would they do that?
Why would they do that?
Like, I would cook on my stove for these celebrities so that they had like real food, and they were like, this is really good. The airport is kind of far out from the city, but I had that little green car. It was an excellent little commuter car. I just buzz out. It was like 40 minutes or 50 minutes out to the airport, and there's a big like loop, and
I found it. The movie was called Always with Richard Dreyfuss and Holly Hunter. It was Holly Hunter that was sitting next to me. And I don't remember if I just was polite, said hi or something.
that's cool.
And then I left her alone. She's like, it's probably too many people yapping at her anyway. Holly Hunter. I couldn't think of that. But I found it real quick.
Well, I learned that let those people have their time, but like because they needed space. But like if they were in the mood to like we would drive around town, I'd show them places, take them to the museum, hang out. Sometimes they wanted to hang out, or they would take me along. They're like, I have to meet this person, because we organized for them to get local artists make costuming and stuff like that for their different stuff, and it was very interactive with them, and yeah, that was a lot of fun. But that kind of ended when there was that thing where you weren't allowed to go out and do public gatherings with lots of people, so it kind of ended, and I had to move anyways. I was having housing difficulties, and now I am here, and I do something different. But that was the origins of how I learned all this live streaming and recording stuff, because that was what I thought I was going to be doing maybe for the rest of my life. But it just, curveballs, things change.
Okay, let's see. Way
Sorry.
up there somewhere. Dean
Yeah, I'm
Stevenson-
sorry. I took
No, it's fine. Dean Stevenson said the Philadelphia Project, which surprises me that somebody knows what that is. But he'd be the one that knows what it is. Was that the airplane movie Always? Yes. Tim remembers what that is. I'm scrolling down quickly here.
You got this.
Well, don't run off. I'm
listening, but I have some chores.
Danny boy. I hope you all ain't got no huffers living in the shop just look at all those rattle cans. Yeah, some of those are bad. Some of them, it's funny. Some will be like 30 years old and they haven't been used and they work, and other ones are like got no pressure in them, you know.
Some of them are bad off the damn shelf.
Hollywood is a bunch of creeps. It just depends on which ones. Yeah, I suppose. I don't know. Hard to say.
No, it's
It's
as
just,
varied
it's
as
just,
the rest of the world.
yeah, it's as that, and Kim's right. It's as varied as the rest of the world. There's one guy that's in Hollywood. I'd like to meet him because he lived next door to me when I was a kid.
Oh,
And
the guy from Northern Exposure.
yeah, the guy from Northern Exposure. And yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind meeting up with him again. He was on a lot of TV shows. He's been in movies. It's Adam Arkin. I knew him when we were teenagers. He's my sister's age, and he lived right next door to us.
Who's the guy from Daddy's Money's Garage?
What do you do?
I
Can't
met
come out with his
Austin.
name.
Is it
Austin.
I met Austin, and Austin met Whistling Diesel at the lake. And then
What?
Austin tells the story where he met Whistling Diesel at the lake, and he really did. So he tells that story as if it's like he laughs because it's like it's an absurd story. Like, I met this guy. It's like it's just a guy. But we were down at Tony's working on the Valiant, and this weird guy with a Canadian accent and one leg shows up with a horse head.
Oh.
I'm
Yeah.
not gonna say his name.
Oh, okay.
Peg from Zip Ties and Bias Plies. He was there to visit Tony. And like, what are the chances? He lives in Canada. He comes to the U.S. twice a year or once a year or something like that. He makes a trek to meet a bunch of people. Well, we just happened to be there on the day he showed up. And Tony didn't even know he was coming. So we were just like lucky. And he hung out and talked to us for like 2 hours.
He's quite a guy.
He was so funny. He's a cool person in person.
He's a great guy to hang out with.
It was super cool as like, what are the chances? It was just dumb luck that we got to meet this celebrity. And I mean, he's just a person. Like, was it life-changing? Well, yeah. Am I bragging? Yeah. Yeah, I got to
meet a famous YouTuber.
A famous YouTuber. World-famous YouTuber.
Of course, Tony's a pretty famous YouTuber too, so.
Yeah. Tony made that video Tony made. He was dumbstruck.
He was.
He was really super, super excited to meet him.
Okay, it says here, Mexican Spec says, one of my best friend's wife was deathly ill. How did I find out? Her son is fairly famous, and he posted it on his Instagram account. It was weird to see posted from Melissa Gilbert and the like, wishing her well. Yeah. No, it's because he's gotten weird lately. I'm not sure what that is. Okay, Jim Carrey was in the Deadpool with Clint Eastwood too. Now we're going to talk about all these famous people.
Yeah, I think that's why I came back, was to talk about all my famous, to name drop a little bit.
Kim, what is that front bumper on the wall behind you? Oh, who's asking that? Oh, Miss One-Eyed Cat Wendy came in after you hung up the Studebaker front end.
I hung that up tonight because I needed a place to put it, and there's no more room on it. Well, I could have put it up on this shelf up here, but then they wouldn't be able to see it.
We've been falling over. I really didn't want it hanging there, but she says it's safe. It's not going to come crashing down on us, and that is the front of my car that's apart right now. So it's a 61 Studebaker Lark front piece, and the bottom of it's bent a little. It needs a little work, but
we got a bumper.
It's pretty good.
I wish I could hang the bumper.
And we got the bumper from, my bumper was all bent, and Mopar Al, we got a Studebaker bumper from him.
Pretty nice one, yeah.
Yeah, really good one. So, yeah, at some point that car will go back together. And, yeah, okay, so what else is going on? Kim, what is that? Okay, the front bumper, was it Austin Healy 3000. Corey, Doug Butler. The guy who had his leg stole by... Yeah, the guy who had his leg stole by...
Peg.
UTG, yeah, Peg.
Oh, was he mad?
Peg. Peg. He's a riot to be around.
I don't think he drinks as much as he lets on, though. He didn't seem drunk.
No, he doesn't. I think it's part of his shtick.
Yeah. Yeah. Very good humored man. That was fun.
Trust.
We had a picture with him wearing his horse head with me and you and Tony and Peg.
Oh, I don't
Remember
know.
in the garage we took a picture?
Oh, it could have been.
But
I don't remember.
They were going to send us one, but we never got it. But that's okay.
Yeah,
It was fun. It was something we got to do, you know? We got to be there. We didn't get to record it, but we got to experience it.
Auto Salvage says, I'm back. My daughter called me. Yeah, I have that happen. I'll be on something and one of my kids calls, and you know what? They get my attention. That's fine. Expect knows that Jim has gotten weird lately. Kim, would you know my friend's stepdaughter for... Kim, you would know my friend's stepdaughter for sure.
Maybe. I know some people.
See, Mexican Spec, watch some interviews he's done lately. Danny Boyd, what's that old Flannery O'Connor story where the traveling Bible salesman banged on the widow's one-legged daughter in the barn and then absconded with her wooden leg? I don't know what he's talking about.
He's talking about some kind of story. Funny old stories.
Mexican Spec, Auto Salvage, what did she call you? Nothing bad, I hope. Okay. KJ Kylie. It's a patadil? I don't know what that is. Danny Boyd could drink with Peg. And we watched Dr. Art's wife. What is her name?
Lucky Lindy.
Lucky Lindy. She was mixing drinks on her video tonight. And I was looking at that going, man, that looks good. That's when I used to drink all those things and mix and stuff. And it's like, man, she uses the good stuff. Yeah, Lucky Lindy. She's got a YouTube channel. She does some little, she's like an interior decorator, but she also does some other things like mixing drinks. Mexican, no, I haven't talked to in a week because I didn't have phone. Oh, you didn't have phone service where you were. Man, DC, but Pig always ends up legless. I ain't too good to try a PC light. I like Milwaukee's best ice. Here go the sirens again. Dean getting my tattoo on my back. Salvage also. Dean, getting my tattoo on my back, $100. Know of her, Kim. This is Mexican Spec. Know of her, Kim. She has been an actress since she was 6 years old and had her own show. I think Kim went outside. I hear some noise outside. And she doesn't seem to be in here. Anybody, Flannery O'Connor kind of made the South make sense. Okay, let's see. Dean said, I hope the 100 male rabbits on your back don't hurt you. Auto Salvage, a great idea. You're on those stripes. Auto Salvage, is Mexican. She calls me every 2 days. She calls me every day, 2 times a day. Danny Boyd, Wimberg himself landed in Clarksburg, West Virginia, back in the 30s or 40s. Well, her name on her YouTube channel is Lucky Lindy, and there's probably, I know there's some reason behind it, but that's her Lucky Lindy over 50, I think, is her YouTube channel. There, Kim's making noise. Opened a big. You're not taking that outside, are you?
No, I'm just moving it around.
Okay. We got to clean that up so I can paint it.
All right.
We got to hose it with your... Next time you got your magic wand going, what do you call that thing? Yeah, pressure washer. We'll clean that thing out and everything and let it dry, and then I'll paint it. Yeah, and then we'll use it. Because we're not using it, because it's all... Jeez, noise.
Sorry, noise.
It's all mucky inside.
Sorry, noise. Oh, yeah, it is.
What was in that trailer?
We back to the Studebaker.
And what'd you do with that?
Put it on the roof of the Studebaker. Well,
Okay, as long as I can't get those windows again. They're
I don't want to have to try.
I'm losing track of the chat here. Let's see. Mine doesn't. Mine doesn't. Son does. He's in school and learning stuff, so I'll excuse him. Yeah, your son wants to be a doctor, and he's going after it.
Anybody know how much the rotating assembly short block for a EJ25 Subaru engine weighs?
Dr. Go, time for me to check out. Take care, everyone. Take care, Dr. Go. Stop. Thanks for stopping by.
Oh, it weighs a lot. It weighs a lot.
Kim,
Shit.
don't be hurting yourself. She just put an engine in a trailer by herself.
It's just a Subaru.
Just a Subaru.
It's just a Subaru.
Dean, I drove 180 miles the other day to meet my lawyer, slept all night and all day. Thought I was dying. I was wore out, so sore, crap in my chest from driving. Seems we all have Hillman Hunter down here. No Holly Hunter. We had a Rachel Hunter too, though. Ilf May, I'm not sure what that is. You slept with the lawyer. Slept with the lawyer. Okay, I'm not getting into that. What's in the trailer? Definitely a draft, especially her. Well, see, I knew something was in that trailer, and she brings a trailer and it's empty. It's like, okay, I know there was something good in there. So it was the window, either the windshield or the back window out of the Studebaker, and one of those I can't even buy a new one. They're not available. I'll be making it out of Lexan, which is not cool. Okay, let's see. So I don't want it to break. I don't want it broken.
Well, I ain't trying to.
I need to. I know we don't try to break shit, but it happens.
It does happen. Handle it.
Dean, he'll go home. Her. Yeah,
Mistakes were made.
the automatic is a Jatco automatic. I don't know what they're talking about. Discounter charge where they're talking to each other.
Anybody need an EJ
I don't know.
253 intake manifold fuel injection and ignition module? I think I have the computer for one.
I think you ought to put a carburetor on.
Good.
Dean Stevens says, "Oh, Auto Salvage Outlaw laughing at me. I don't know what I said, but I probably said something silly. The flat four is about 156 pounds without its gearbox, transaxle, and ancillaries. I think it was picked up with a lot fewer than the, because look at all the piece she just had. Dean Stevens just razzing you, ASO. Chick magnet. The flat four sounds like a tone deaf barbershop quartet. No Kim, wrong crowd. To Jack's made by.
Right, Mexican spec. Nobody wants Subaru parts. I
went to
understand.
Jack's, made my order, told the lady if she came with the order. He thought it. Read that for me. I'm either having trouble or it's not.
Auto
real
Salvage Outlaw says, I went to Jack's, made my order, told the lady if she came with the order, Hill thought was going have locked my truck doors. Gotta quit that crap.
Yeah, it didn't make sense to me either. And then when you read it, it
Doesn't make any
sense. So I
sense.
don't know what he meant to write, but it kind of went wrong. It's all of English words. It's just like they're in the wrong order. I don't know. Oh, you got that whole thing checked out.
We don't go to UGG anymore. Well, Tony moved. He doesn't have a lot of space. And he makes his we just don't have any particular thing to.
He's an hour and 45 minutes from here. And we're pretty busy, and he's pretty busy. Yeah, we don't go down there too much.
I mean, maybe we will in the future. It just depends.
I talked to him not long ago on the phone.
Yeah, and he's on the whole way on the other side of Nashville, so there's traffic, and it's very difficult for us to make that much traveling on a regular basis. We went down to see Dr. Art not too long ago, and he's about the same distance. But if we don't focus on what we're doing here,
If
We
we go
have
to,
to focus on what's here.
if we go down there and do something and come back, that's the whole day.
Easily, maybe 2 days, because
Well,
we're got to recover.
so I mean that wipes out the day, and then we get nothing done except it's kind of fun. I mean, we went to our Dr.Art's. We really had a good time that day.
Yeah, they're great people. We enjoyed spending time with them. But just like anything, you can't do it all the time. He wanted the Valiant like out of there because there was controversy that he didn't want to be involved with anymore. So he wanted it. He didn't want us having it there working because it just stirred that pot. And he said, well, once you get the engine in, if you want to get the turbo put on it, he'd be interested in working on that content. And the other thing he said is he wasn't that interested in doing Slant 6 content because he already had done it. He was on to other things. So he said, good luck, work on your stuff. He was fully in support of us doing our thing. He's been nothing but good to us.
Okay. You were okay, Mexican Spec. Kim, my friend's son had his own show and was a Bad News Bear TV, not movie. Who is he?
Wait, my friend had his own show and was a Bad News Bear. I don't know him. Never met him. I don't think I would know him. Different crowd. Show business is a big family. You think No Name Nationals is a lot of people? Show business? The only person everybody knows is Kevin Bacon.
Read KJ Kylie's.
KJ Kylie. Buff. A car with one headlight out is called a padiddle. I've heard of that. We always
You
used
have?
to say that. Yeah.
Oh, I never heard of that.
Yeah. When we were kids and we were riding in the back of a car, or when we were teenagers and we were riding in our car, and a car coming the other way only had one headlight, you said, whoever saw it first said, "Padiddle!" and punched the other person. That was something that we did.
Is that some Pittsburgh thing?
I don't know where it came from. I thought it was stupid because I kept getting punched because I'm not very quick. And when I did think of it first, I'd get so excited I'd just knock him through the wall. Be like, "Padiddle!"
Don't punch me again.
And they'd be like, "You're not supposed to hurt me." I'm like, "Yeah, but you punched me as hard as you could."
Okay, let's see. Let's see.
Hey, I had a Nissan Versa at one point, I think.
I'm lost.
I don't know.
One is also often called a Chevy. URG is actually a smart guy. Oh, he probably means UTG. He's actually a smart guy in his car stuff. He is. Yep. Yeah, he did a good video today on carbon. I even learned a couple of things from today, and I've been around this stuff for a long time, and I learned a thing about carbon and rings and drilling holes and pistons that I didn't know about.
Drilling holes and pistons?
You'll have to watch the video and you'll learn something.
I know nothing about this.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm not reading all this. I'm getting kind of tired. Dan Boyd. I rescued 2 Versa drivers from battery problems this summer. One was a coworker I gave a ride to, and the other was my neighbor whose positive cable became loose from the terminal. Versa. Oh, Versas. I know what Versas are. My former wife had a Versa for a while. Until somebody rear-ended her and destroyed the car. And she ended up in a hospital for 4 hours, and I went and got her. Or no, my son went and got her. Then the car ended up towed away. It was a Friday afternoon. She'd just been to the store, and the whole back of the car was... Kim, you sure are noisy. The whole back of the car was full of all her groceries and everything she just bought, and it ended up in a tow lot till Monday morning. So, all that stuff was bad. And they totaled the car. And then she got a bill on her credit card for a new car battery. She goes, "I'm going to go over there and get that battery out of that car. That's my battery." I said, "No, the insurance company paid you for the car. That battery belongs to the insurance company." She goes, "No, I'm just paying for it right now on this credit card." I go, "Nope, that battery belongs to the insurance company." They paid you for it. She goes, they did not. They just paid me for the car. She and I had a big old argument. I said, yeah, go ahead. Go over there and get it. And they're going to call the cops. She didn't go get her battery. She was mad because that was expensive battery. Just like when you put 4 new tires on a car and then it gets totaled. You lose the tires.
That would never happen.
Let's see. Mexican Spec says, when I returned the car, the rental agents said he can't keep them working on the Versas, many of them. Carbon is organic. Must be Suckvania bulbs.
Carbon is not necessary. Wait, is carbon an element or is carbon a compound? Not compound.
It's an element.
Is it an element? Well, then it's not organic.
Oh.
Is it organic? God,
I think we all have carbon in us, but it's not organic.
we're organic.
A lot of people don't know TTG. Probably UTG. Wrote articles, Hot Rod magazine. Hot Rod, yeah, maybe he did in Hot Rod. Yeah, but he had all those magazines, all like, yeah, it was East Coast Hot Rod type magazines, but I don't think he wrote for Hot Rod at all. I knew the guys that were, like Jeff Smith, that was the Hot Rod editor, and he was the editor of Carcraft when I knew him, and I did some work with Carcraft on their cars. Nissan versus the cockroach of the car business. They're everywhere, and nobody wants them around. Yeah, she was gonna buy another one when that one got wrecked, and I talked her out of buying one. She bought a what's the next bigger car that Nissan makes? The Kim? You're not paying attention, are you?
Stanza? Sentra.
Sentra. I talked her into buying a Sentra instead of the little Versa.
Yeah, I was listening.
I said that Sentra, that Versa, you know, what rear-ended her. Somebody in front of her stopped. She was on a 2-lane road. Somebody stopped in front of her to make a left turn, so of course she stopped. And so she stopped. And a woman behind her, like a 1-ton dually Chevy pickup towing a horse trailer, doesn't even bother to slow down. Just bam, 50 miles an hour in the back of the Versa. And the person in front of my wife had turned just about when she got hit. So she went flying forwards. But it destroyed that car. You can imagine sitting still and having a 1-ton Chevy dually pulling a trailer smash into you. And I say 50 because that's what the speed limit was there. But who knows how fast she was going. But she wasn't looking where she's going. She never even put on the brakes. Just whack into the back of her, So I didn't see you. Let's see. CBT Power Roller Gearbox. I've had CBTs and they weren't too bad.
Oh, I had problems with CBT and mine.
I had problems with mine, but they fixed it for free. And it was in a Dodge Caliber. And I had the problems when it had 107,000 miles on it.
Yeah.
And
it already had miles on it.
And they I had an extended warranty. So they replaced it for all I had to do is pay $100, what do they call it?
Deductible.
$100 deductible. And they replaced it. And I drove that thing around until it had, I don't know, until my son wrecked it. No, that was another car.
Man, your family wrecked a lot of cars.
Oh, my youngest son wrecked everything he had. And he hasn't wrecked anything in a long time.
Well,
you know what? When he started buying his own cars, he quit wrecking them. When his mother was buying the cars for him,
they were easy to wreck. Somebody else is paying for them.
Car company here offers a small manual car. The Nissan March took over for the I don't know what that thing is. Mexican Spec, you gotta show pictures of that thing. Plug the tire. Kim's really noisy tonight.
Trying to get something done.
That's noisy.
Well, that's how work is.
It's called the Nissan Micra in called it the Nissan Micra in Kazakhstan. Plugged the tire on 19 Cherokee yesterday. Had to look at the owner's book to open the tailgate and release the emergency brake. And okay, let's see. I got to get caught up. This is one I just found out. I'll be off work from the 14th to the 26th. Paid. I'll take it. Yeah. Anytime you get paid time off. Yeah. Those Goshen rules. Don't know who that is. This one I got when y'all leaving out. To go to No Name Nationals. Okay, my friend took a Subaru Justy. Transmission shop in the late 90s. Never could get it working. Justies were CVT. You know, yeah, my CVT, they just replaced it. And it was actually kind of an amazing transmission, but it was in a Dodge Caliber. So, you know, they weren't putting a lot of power in it. Who would buy a 3-cylinder automatic? Oh God, I had a girlfriend at one time had a 3-cylinder automatic. It was a Chevy Sprint. And I had another friend that had a Chevy Sprint with a manual in it. Source were like our Sentras. Okay. The Nissan Sorrel Buff was a 1991 Nissan Sentra that sold here. Hey, Mexican Spec, what were those little pickups? Little tiny, it's like a tiny, tiny El Camino that was something I liked. You had one for sale at one time.
Tiny El Camino.
Out of salvage outlets, I had one fender bender when I was 19. And the two in parking lot, Walmart, both wasn't my fault. I've been in 6 accidents, all 6 of them. People rear-ended me when I was sitting still. Mexican Spec said, he told me that was my fault because I should have been more careful. But
You should keep moving.
I don't know. When I'm sitting at a red light and there's cars in front of me and there's cars on both sides of me and some idiot smashes into me, it's like,
How dare you?
where the hell do you go? Maybe I should just get out of the car, and then they hit a parked car and I wasn't in it.
If you see him coming, you gotta go.
The Micro was sold here for a few years. It was the bubble headlight one. Chevy Metros. Yeah, Chevy Metro. Well, there was the Metro, but before that there was the Sprint. And the Sprint I really liked, but it was the predecessor to the Geo Metro.
Was it a 3-cylinder? Like
Yep. Yep. I had a friend that crashed when he just destroyed the front end and it was totaled. He brought it to me and he goes, I don't care how you get it together, get it together. And we bought a hood and fenders and I just welded together whatever it took to get the bumper back on it and just sort of made it up as I went along and put the fenders on it and painted it white and he was really happy. Ford Paramount Durango. Yeah, those are kind of cool. That's a Ford Futura that they made into a pickup. And the Chevy pickup, that's the name. There's also Volkswagen Pointer pickup. I'm talking about the little one. I've never seen them anywhere except Mexico. As soon as I go to Mexico, those things run around their park places, and I always look at them. Can't think of the name. I'm right there. Little tiny, kind of rounded off, little tiny El Camino looking car. And I think they're a Chevrolet. Yeah, Auto made the 3-cylinder even more doggy. Yeah, the girl that I knew had a Chevy Sprint wagon. I drove it around a little bit, but you know, she drove it back and forth to work in the city in Phoenix. It was fine. Sprint was a good car, more with the turbo. Yeah, I never drove one with a turbo. This one I got, I'm leaving 17th. Dean Stevenson. I don't know what that word is. Oh, trebuchet.
Oh, that's a catapult.
Yeah.
But not really.
They used to have a thing around here where they shot everything with trebuchets. They shot cars across great expanses.
That'd be fun to watch.
Oh, and they shot pumpkin chunkin, same thing, throwing pumpkins for like a quarter mile with trebuchets. What was that thing Mexican spec? I can't think of what it is. The little pickup. I'm sure it was Chevrolet. Now that I think about it,
Oh, we should be in the studio.
Trabant. Man, I like Trabants. Just because it's such a crappy little. It doesn't get any worse. That's what makes it cool. little two-stroke car. Who's the guy on there that has all the Trabants?
Somebody has all the Trabants?
Well, there's a guy that has a couple. He's a guy that has a bunch of weird cars. He has some electric cars that I never heard of, and he has a couple of Trabants, and I don't know, the guy's pretty funny. He's a YouTuber. It's been around for a while. Can't think of his name right now. I watch a lot of what he does because it's just silliness, silly old cars that nobody else has. The idea was ahead of its time, but some know is that Toyota engines, all those goofy little Toyota Novas, were leaving the same day. Okay, so Mrs. One-Eyed Cat, the Dawn and Wendy are leaving the same day, which is what, 17th.
Well, that makes sense. You
Here
don't
come
want
the road toads.
a long way to drive alone.
Yeah,
What
not
years are their cars? 61, 62 kind of thing?
62.
The
They
guy
had
at the road says he had 64, 65 four-door parts cars.
Yeah, but those aren't road toads.
I know, they're like my car. I want to go see it. I
Non
like my car with different front end, I think. Right? Different front end?
See, different 85. I don't know what they're talking about. 85 to 88. I removed the TA from my first Corolla rust bucket and stuck the let from a Shelby, from a Chevy on there in place. So it said toilet. Real good. There was a car called a Toyo Pet that I don't think ever was here. I think it was not imported, but that was Toyo Pet, not Toyo Let.
Sounds like a shitty car.
Auto Savage Outlaw, they staying over Tennessee. Non-Geo and not GMX cars, Novus anyway.
Who's staying in Tennessee?
Auto Salvage Outlaws. Fremont Novas, yeah, they were made in Fremont. They were made at the old GM truck plant. Those Toyota Novas were made in Fremont, California. Elon, yeah, Elon has that building now. Yeah, it's the old GM. They made Chevy pickups and GMC pickups in there. I knew a guy that worked in the paint shop. He painted the right side of the interior on those trucks. Worked on the line. Did that for years. Man, she's noisy. You guys hear all that squeaky and crackly noise?
You really give me a get some.
I know, she's working.
Thanks everyone for being here. Be sure to thank Bus Del Campo for communicating, chatting, because I can't.
Well, my eyes are starting to feel like they have gravel in them.
Why? Are you getting too late?
Well, it's 12:15. I mean, yeah, and I got
Well,
up
I
there.
think we might have to go to one.
We might have to go to one. Okay, we can do that.
We got a little
Stop
more.
back in the Mexico.
You know what though? We probably need to make some. Are you geared up to do your shorts pretty soon?
Yeah, when we get back up the house, yeah, I got to post a short before we're.
Well, I just mean, are we gonna record any tonight, or you got one?
No, I have a couple
So
still.
we're not gonna try and record any.
No, I'm not going to try to do that.
Alright.
And they say they don't hear your squeakiness. To me, it's extremely loud, but maybe it's just far enough away they don't hear it.
Noise filter might be getting it.
The air's kind of visible out there with some pollen. Oh, that's all this is that. This One-Eyed Cat, yes, I'm camping there at the track. Auto Salvage Outlaws camping at the track. I'm gonna ask Izzy to be an auto salvage outlaw minder.
I think it would be cool to camp at the track, but I also like having our own bathroom and shower.
You know, that's why I get the hotel room, just to have my own bathroom and shower.
What was an expense that you splurged on last year?
I splurged on it all 3 years. Although last year I got it for free. Is that Rasper Lambert's? It's Lambert's, and there's nothing it compares to. Yes, it's good. It is outstanding.
What the hotel?
The Lambert's. Only
Lambert's is fun.
Tim said Lambert's, but it's Lambert's.
Lambert's is a lot of fun.
Yeah, okay. He understands. He corrected himself. It's Lambert's. Yeah, it's good. There's nothing else like it. And you don't eat all day. Because you will be full, and they'll still bring there's sides. You know how you get a couple sides? Well, they bring around these big platters, and they keep putting more sides and scooping more sides on your plate. And it's how is it priced, Kim? I don't remember. I just paid for it.
You can look at the menu online.
Oh yeah.
And see the prices, so you're not shocked. It's not. I don't know. It may have changed some since last year because it's because they're a business. But
I noticed their menu online has changed. It used to be just a PDF of their menu, and now it looks to me like it's actually an online menu. And I don't know if the prices are there, but it's
I mean, it's not the cheapest place you ever ate, but it's not like it's not like the.
It's somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, somewhere in the middle.
And they have
it's a once a year thing,
Kim got chicken the first year.
Oh, jeez.
She gets this plate, and it's like this, and what's his name? Levi's Dylan looks at it and he goes, we were sitting there with them, and he says, "Is that a whole chicken?" And she looks at it and she goes, "I don't think there's any wings on it." So it says whole chicken, and there's food all around it. They keep bringing her sides, and they call them pass arounds. And then if you put your hand up like this, there's some guy way across the room that heaves a roll like a.
It's usually some young guy looks like he was on the football team.
And it's like threw a softball at you, and you grab the roll out of the air, and they call it home of the throwed rolls. You never seen a place like this. It's fun, and we have outside before we all go in. They got a big parking lot, and they let us kind of have an impromptu car show out there. It's really good. It's really a good place.
Yeah, we line them up, eat a meal, have a good time.
Yeah. There ends up being a line while you're waiting to get in there.
Oh, yeah, there's a long line.
But the line, they got all these license plates hanging there and old pedal cars and machines to crush pennies. And of course, we're all car people in line waiting, so
here's
you're busy,
Here's the deal. If you want to meet somebody and chit chat with them and just talk about something with somebody that you know their channel and you know what they're about, and you just really think they'd be fun to talk to, at the car show, just kind of gravitate toward them, and then when they go to get in line next to them and just strike up a conversation, because you got like a half an hour waiting in line, you know what I mean? So you're standing right next to them in line.
Anyone catch a roll in their mouth? Nah. I bet somebody has, but I haven't seen it.
I don't know if they'll do that. They're probably smarter than that.
Mexican Specs says, Buff, if you've been to a Brazilian meat place, they bring you as much meat of your choice. No, I haven't. There's a place, and I took him there when we were in Maryland, and it was, what is it, with South American place? What was that? It's damn good. And I'd been there before. I told you I went there with Raymond, my friend Raymond, and his son a couple of times. And then I took you there.
Yeah.
And it was right by the Harbor Freight.
Yeah.
And it was real close to the hotel where we stayed.
That was nice.
What was that? It was
I don't remember the name of it.
some kind of South American food. It was wonderful.
We went there twice, didn't
We went there twice, yeah.
It was that good. There's lots of fun things to do. I mean, it's an experience, but it's going to cost you money. You have to budget for it. You can't just jump over there. And a lot of people can't afford it. It's an extravagant sort of vacation. But you get to meet a bunch of people. If you know all the No Name Nationals channels, or a bunch of them, you get to meet a bunch of people and see their projects and
Every time
tell
we've
them how
been
much you enjoy What's
Every
that?
time we've been there, we stood there in line talking to people and having a good time.
Yeah, and a lot of people who we wouldn't think even know who we are. Like that first year, there was a
Nobody,
bunch of people who knew who you were.
I don't know why. Oh, because I've been on Tony's lives for a year and a half. So they
Yeah.
knew me, yeah.
Yeah, and we had stuff in common. They knew what you were into, so they'd immediately be able to strike up a conversation. Like Dr. Art. We went out to see Dr. Art. The first thing he started doing is talk about airplanes. You guys had a bunch of
Oh,
airplane experience in common, and you had a great time talking.
Dr. Art and I were both in the Air Force, but we didn't know that until like an hour after we met each other. They got a big airplane picture on the wall. It's like several pictures that add up to a big 4-engine propeller driven like a DC-6 or something. And I asked him something about it. I said, "Are you into airplanes?" Yeah, he's a pilot. He's, a private pilot. He's was in the Air Force, aircraft maintenance specialist. He worked on F-4 Phantoms. I'm like, man, and he was in after me. He was like, I was in 10 years, and then he was in right about the time I got out of the Air Force. He went in, so we never knew each other in the Air Force. But yeah, the Air Force is huge. But it's yeah, all of a sudden we got something else in common.
Yeah, they had a great time. There was no stress. People are pretty people are not like all stuck up or anything like that. Just
And
sweet
then I
people.
didn't know it, but I met Dr. Art at the first No Name Nationals, but I couldn't remember it. I met so many people so quickly that you just couldn't remember everybody. Okay, I'm missing a whole bunch of.
Oh, you better pay attention. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I'm just gonna skip over some of them because they're talking to each other and stuff. Jeff was the thrower. Oh, the thrower last year. This one-eyed cat. I'm not sure what she's saying there. Trower. Jeff was the. But we only do no name nationals once a year. Got to buy my cooler. Can't stand this phone autocorrect crap. Yeah, I gotten me in trouble a few times. Can't we just get you a Thunderbird trunk full of ice? Auto Salvage Outlaw. Only a poor workman blames his tools. Women spell check. Czech, check. That was Czechoslovakia. Then after the communists went away, it became Czech Republic and Slovakia. And now Czech Republic is Czechia. And I noticed people saying that, and I go, what? And then I'm seeing it on the map, so I went and read about it. They actually changed the name of the country to Czechia. Yeah, Kim, that noise is showing up on the mic. I can
I'm
see it.
sorry. I'm trying to get stuff done.
I know. The Thunderbird fixing to come apart. The right tool for the right job is kind of our responsibility. Check the key, check yourself. Yourself. Yep, they keep changing their name. They can't expect me to keep up. Yeah, you've been in Mexico for a long, long time. Probably longer than the United States has been around. I'm sure. Oh, please don't blame the Czechs. Kim, I'm not sure what you're doing. You're wrapping that all up in. I see what you're doing. Where are you putting all that?
Oh, I don't know yet, but I gotta get it out of here because we cannot build aluminum cars with all this foam in the way. And I'm wrapping it up so it's easy to move. And
The other thing is it'll keep it kind of clean.
well, yeah, it'll keep it from getting all busted up.
Oh, I'm gonna have sneezing issues again. What the heck?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, and Mexican spec says rice checks, wheat checks. What other checks are out there? Spelling it like Czech Republic checks. So at this point today, I was in the U.S. for longer. No, at this point today, I was in the U.S. for longer, but that will change in the next 6 years. Okay, so 6 years from now, you'll be in Mexico longer. Oh, it says ragwig is out there already. You know, the problem I have is uh, not from pollen and all that. It's from a med I take that's called lisinopril, and it keeps the blood pressure under control. But one of its side effects is it makes your throat dry. So sometimes my throat's dry, and sometimes it isn't. But when it is, man, I start sneezing and everything. Then I put a cough drop in my mouth, and then I'm good for quite a while. And if I feel it coming, I put the cough drop in my mouth. If I'm not paying attention, then I go in a big old sneezing fit. Just ask Kim. I sneeze a lot sometimes.
Yeah, he has sneezing fits. Sometimes he gets really mad and he goes, "Achoo! Crap! Achoo! Damn it! Achoo!" He gets so mad and starts
Because
yelling.
I can't stop sneezing.
He gets so mad and then he's yelling in between sneezes. I think, boy, this poor man. He's gonna.
But if I lived in the U.S. for 33 years and I have 25 here, so do the math, yeah. Definitely dual citizen. It's pretty cool, I think. My guess is your Spanish is probably perfect, and your English is as perfect as anybody lived in the U.S. for the first 33 years of your life. I don't know too many people like that. I know one guy from Russia moved here when he was 12 years old, and he learned English in Russia, like in elementary school. But he came here and went to school here, finished high school, and he spoke English perfectly, no accent, and he spoke Russian perfectly, no accent. And it's because his grandparents came here, and his grandparents didn't speak English. So he spoke Russian with them, just like he always did. And he spoke English here. The guy's just like both languages, perfect, you know. Not too many people have two languages they speak without a noticeable accent. My wife says my Spanish is at 10-year-old level, so yes, perfect to me. You know, but I bet you don't speak with some kind of strange accent. I bet you speak Spanish with... Well, did you speak Spanish at home when you were a kid? Did your family speak any Spanish, or... I don't know. Kim says, well, I know it's time to go. I have 4 evil dog eyes staring at me. Yeah, you're the guy that has the dogs that go. They have that, they look straight ahead, but their eyes are like this, like, hey, it's bedtime, stupid.
Well, we are going kind of late tonight because we got some goals.
See, Tim, you were the pet. They own the house.
Good though, they let you stay. Not like cats, they'll eat you when you die.
Auto Savage Outlaws. I hold citizenship in Cherokee Nation and USA citizenship. Really? Somehow I'm only 57. The math doesn't add up. Maybe I was 32 when I left. Who can say? Man, I've heard your voice, man. You don't sound like you're 57.
I am the Dread Pirate Roberts.
Mexican Spec sounds like he's like 30. Of course, I've never seen him. I just see his green screen over his face. Tim says he needs you to come to his garage to clean up for a while.
Oh, if I don't do it, it won't get done. So I gotta. But then again, I can't stream for hours at a time. So we work together. Teamwork makes the dream work. We would not be half as far as we are now without each other helping us.
Dean says to Auto Salvadala, do you charge any Americans rent? Cherokee. Yeah. Hey, I wasn't involved in that mess. I just got stuck here. People, Mexican Texas, people here say I have an American accent, but I don't hear it. No, I didn't speak any Spanish until I came to Mexico. My father didn't speak Spanish. Oh, really? Okay. Wow, you didn't speak Spanish till you got to Mexico when you were 33. That's amazing. You just went after it. Yeah, Tim says he does their errands for them, like go to the store for their food.
For who?
For his dogs.
That's right. He's their
He's their go-getter.
go-getter.
He says
Go get dinner.
he says he does their errand.
That's how animals. That's how it is. We live with animals. They're in charge.
Oh, Salvador says, "Yepers, you do charge Americans rent. Man, we haven't sent a rent check to him lately." Okay, Tim, take care. See you later. I gotta get a shower and get to bed. Go to court with my sister-in-law for her whackers. Her wacko son. Okay, Wendy, have fun. It sounds like an interesting day coming up. Dallas says Mexico does sound pretty young. Yeah, he does. You know, it's kind of funny. There's people that are older and they sound old right away, and there's other people that be 70 and they don't sound old at all. KJ, KJ Kylie, I grew up speaking Pig Latin. I remember that stuff. He's got a movie star's voice. I don't look 57 either. I work inside most of the time. A 57-year-old that worked outside all his life looks 80. You know, it makes a lot of difference too. A 57-year-old that works outside a lot and smokes, man.
Oh man, that drives him up.
That takes a toll. He seems it's because he loves what he does, but I can tell. I need to charge rent. I was so jealous. Love seen my family line. XMS, does the voice change with age? If the person never smoked or drank? I don't know if drinking changes the voice that much. I know smoking does. Man, I knew a girl, she's a hot looking girl. And by the time she was about 25, she went to the doctor, and doctor told her her voice sounded like a 70-year-old man with emphysema. And she did. And she's smoking. Man. Well, Dean Stevenson somewhere said something prefabricated, but it came out something else. I didn't see where that was. So now he says prefabricated house. You see the spell checker is wonky. Might also depend on how energetic you are. That friend of mine that got killed like last month in an airplane accident, he was 75. He run around looking like a 50-year-old in good shape, and he sounded like just a young guy. And he's 75. And he had a current medical certificate, current second-class medical, which is commercial pilot. So I got land in Oklahoma. If I want to move there, I can move to North Carolina and live there cheap. I knew two brothers out in Arizona. They're both, oh God, I don't know how to pronounce it quite right. Quechin. Uh, and one of them lived on the reservation, the other one lived in town, and they were both like super mechanics, racers. The one that lived on the reservation had a Henry J with a LS Chevy in it. It was fast. A friend that passed in 2021 had a high voice. Everyone talking thought he was a woman. When he used that to his advantage. I didn't hear it because I had known him for 32 years. Yeah. Yeah, Ronnie Dangerfield. He's always like this. I don't get no respect.
I think
But
that
if wait
lady
till
you
you
ain't
hear
going
me
nowhere
talk
in
in
this car.
person.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I think that lady you ain't going nowhere in this car might be a Rodney Dangerfield line. Can you
Oh,
do
I
it in a
see.
Rodney Dangerfield voice? Lady,
I don't know.
you
I
ain't
know
going nowhere in this car.
he's always going like this, and like, no, I don't get no respect. He's a pretty funny guy, you know.
I mean, for the
I used to
time.
watch him when I was young, and I didn't understand all his jokes. And now I look on YouTube, and he's, there's replays and stuff, and I laugh my ass off now because I didn't always understand it when I was young.
Olam, thank you for being here. I'm sorry your energy has sputtered. Mine is being expended too, but as you can see, there's more.
Oh, look at this. Look at this. I've been watching this, not this so much.
Look how wide the garage is now compared to how tight we were. You couldn't walk around the car once you brought it in, whereas now we have the studio and the toolbox and the camera cart.
And all says she just ran out of energy.
Oh,
So
it's room.
she's done for the day.
Yeah, we appreciate you being here. We really do. It's awesome that you come in so often and keep us company.
Yeah, there's much foam not in there anymore. What'd you do with it?
Right now it's sitting outside. It has to go into storage.
Into storage.
It's valuable if you want to.
Yeah, I don't want it. I don't want it left outside, but okay.
No, the UV will kill it. We got to get it under cover.
Not outside.
We got to get it under cover.
Okay.
I don't know what that entails. We don't have any place to put some of this stuff right now.
I know. If it's outside undercover, it'd be all full of bugs and stuff. It's like a lot of my stuff. It ends up outdoors, and
We don't even have an immediate use for it. I don't know what we can't keep.
well, we may be cutting some of it to bond aluminum on the aluminum car. Because I'm gonna kind of build it like a wing, I think.
We have like a 4-foot square ingot of it in the shed.
Ingot. It's a billet.
Giant styrofoam brick.
Yeah, I hope that's not turning to crap. I just know how much I paid for this stuff.
I'm really sorry.
One
I
more
understand.
car, parts one. Well, I'm looking up, like, we could probably put, like, one of those up there, and you're going, no.
No, look at all this stuff that's still down on the floor in our way. We got to
But
make
I don't
space.
want to take stuff I paid hundreds of dollars for and put it outside to be ruined. Oh.
Okay.
I don't know what to do. I'm trying to think of what to do.
Okay. It's not
The
going to
house-
get ruined right this second.
No, the house is full of crap, and this place is full of crap, and we got like a lean-to shed out there, which is basically outdoors with a roof.
It's a little bit of block from the sun and the rain, but it's not even good.
And then the shed is like animals got in there. Wore it. Hilby Creek, and my third great grandfather fought there, and many of my family got slaughtered because of Andrew Jackson. I live 1 mile from there. Huh.
One-eyed cat, Miss One-eyed Cat says I'm one of 17, but I'm the only one that has an accent. We knew what you meant.
17 what? That's what Mexican spec says. Never eat corn nuts after midnight.
Oops.
I can't eat. They stink. So I don't really like to eat them because they stink. But once I put them in my mouth, they get past my nose. They taste pretty good.
They're salty.
But then they're really high in carbs. So I've got to like,
They are. I can't keep.
I can't be eating a lot of them. And then I did something stupid this morning and ate something that was kind of high in carbs. So I'm hungry. I ate a can of not beans. I ate a can of chili, which was 2 servings at 17 grams each. What's that? 34. That's within my limit for a day, but I can't eat anything else. I can eat things that don't have any carbs, like like a head of lettuce or something. That'll be good. That might have a couple carbs in it. Okay, these students, and Mrs. One-Eyed Cat. 17 is my favorite number. Your accent is perfect. Don't tell Mr. One-Eyed Cat. Good thing I'm hitting on you again. Heard he and Ron can shoot a deer at 600 feet. A little further than 600 feet. What is that light in my eyes? Oh, you just tipped something off. That's all. Things. Safe distance, 5 eyes can hit me at 148 miles. If you're in another hemisphere, I think you're safe. I have never been in the southern hemisphere.
You never flew that far in an airplane? Never?
But in 12 years, I can have my son look at you. Maybe your other doctors are wrong and you can't eat what you want. And you can eat what you want. Well, I can eat what I want. It's just it's like everything starts going bad. I should have been more serious about my diet, like 10 years ago. It's just I was on the road and it's so easy just to like forget it. I'm gonna eat in a restaurant, and pretty soon I'm eating macaroni and potatoes and things I shouldn't be eating, and it all tastes so good. I get hungry just thinking about it. But I can take a head of lettuce and chop the whole thing up and put some 0 carb dressing on it and cut up some tomatoes and put it in there and maybe some onion. Man, that is so good, and it's like just almost no carbs, and it's fills me up and it's good. So that's okay. And then Kim cooks some meat, and just about all meat I can eat. How does that stove work in the winter? It is wonderful. We have a lot of oak trees around here, and oak trees get hit by, we have big lightning and thunderstorms. So an oak tree comes down once in a while in the wind, and so we have a lot of wood. And during the winter time, we keep it 60 degrees in here, 65, and I've used waterborne paints in here, painted cars in here when it's with the wood stove going, it's amazing. And we were talking about this winter, I want to get a wood stove for the house, but we were talking about maybe having to hang out more here than in the house, keeping the house maybe 40 or 45 degrees if it gets real cold, and just hanging out up here. Because this place does stay warm, and
We're gonna get a fireplace.
we have a fireplace in the house. But fireplaces suck. Most of the heat goes up the chimney,
No, I mean,
and it's at one end of the house. That's like it's a terrible place for a fireplace.
Maybe we'll start a GoFundMe for a fireplace.
GoFundMe.
We need it. We really need it.
I need more than cornbread. Cornbread's so good. I can't eat that. I've eaten it. Oh, what do they have? That's something they have at Lambert's. What do they have at Lambert's that I can't eat? Everything, but they have cornbread that was good.
Yeah.
Oh, breaded fried okra. Breaded fried okra at I'll probably have a little of that, but I gotta. You're making big noises over there.
Ouch.
Big Jack noises. Jack's making noise.
You're giving me such a hard time. I'm getting so much work
No,
done.
no, that's okay. Are you glad you just didn't say what you mean, Indian white man? The fireplace is for romance, not heat. Yeah, well, the fireplace we have in the house is in the. See, somebody built this house and then they built a bedroom and a bathroom onto the house with a separate entrance, but it has a door into the kitchen, which is uh, kind of a separate little thing. But they put the fireplace in there, so it probably heated that place in the beginning, back in 1967 or whenever they did that. But it's not going to heat the house. It's just going to heat the chimney. Maybe that room. I don't know. It's going to be very wasteful is what it's going to be.
Yeah, it could turn into that real fast.
My dad was great. He would tell me stories. It's down. Kids I didn't know till he told me when I was little. I identify as Dean. I identify as a handicapped person. My sister's handicapped, and she says I'm dumb. Dennis Beck is going on about he loves to pass down stories. Said that, Dean, I wouldn't have been here today. Fireplace is good for burning documents.
That too. That's what we should do. Start a document disposal service.
Except we're not politicians. We don't need to burn any documents.
No, but I mean, we could. They would pay us to burn the documents.
You can put a fireplace screensaver on your screen.
Keeps you warm at night.
It's best at 86 inches landscaping. And then if it's an older computer, you can run it real hard and it'll actually produce enough heat to warm up the room a little bit.
Yeah, that's true. Make it an AI screensaver. Generate the heat.
Mexican Spec says, I noticed Kim is doing all the work. Good job training her, Buff. I didn't train her. Okay, Wendy's saying later, I gotta go to bed. Good night. Okay, take care, Wendy. I thought you already left, but I stuck around a little longer.
Thank you for being
Thanks.
here. We'll be back tomorrow night.
We're gonna be here tomorrow night?
I think we are. I gotta get the car fixed. That's why I'm working so damn hard tonight.
KJ Kylie says, Buff, where do you stash your gold bars? Oh, man.
We just got them stacked. They're everywhere. You can't help but trip over the damn thing.
Well, I'm a dumbass. I invested in aluminum sheet metal and styrofoam.
Tools.
Tools. That's the only good thing I did. I bought enough tools that I still like to buy more tools, but I could get by with what I have pretty easily and do just about everything I need to do.
Got a lot of tools.
My first daughter, this is auto salvage outlaws. When my first daughter was born, we walked outside and my dad said, don't freak out if she comes out dark. I said, what the crap, when he told me the whole story of my line when she was born. I push. Excellent stuff. Says, Kim, I have to read all the comments. You can do all the work. That actually worked. Oh, I see. Well, she set this up with a big old vertical screen. This is what I noticed. I'm looking up at the comments, and that looks bad. I should be looking at the camera. And we talked about taking this big screen, and we're going to move it down lower. So I'm looking at the camera instead of looking up all the time, because looking up, that's what I noticed looks so stupid. Bauxite is what I should have bought, not the refined 2024 T3 aluminum. So Dean, do you know what 2024 T3 is? Got lots of it here. worried my son would be a redhead. Have that defect in the family. He wasn't. About 2% of people are redheads, at least in the U.S. Then the TVA can make the power to reduce aluminum. Mexican, I was redhead when I was born. My grandkids are redheaded. Expected your neck is gonna hurt looking up. You know, that's what happened. I noticed I was, when that chat starts getting ahead of me, I'll be like this. And I'm looking at this level right here. And I want to move that whole screen down so I can not be doing that.
I forgot that we were in a hurry, or else I would have brought down the lower table.
Well, we'll probably build a thing. I liked your idea. We've got 2x4s. We got stuff. I can just build a thing that'll, because you set this up quickly with some new equipment, and it's really good stuff. But
it's working, so we go with it now.
Yeah, and we go with it. But I noticed I got my head tilted up all the time.
We didn't even know if it was going to work. I went and paid, what did I say? I paid $60 for two 32-inch televisions.
And they're working great, you know.
I mean, yeah, but we didn't know if they were going to work at all. It was a gamble. It was a gamble. And it's working out.
I lost my dark hair. I didn't have black hair. It's very dark brown. I told my mother one time I had black hair, and she goes, "That's not black, it's dark brown." Okay. But it turned blonde. Or is it gray? It's gray. I'm sorry to hear that. Did you lose your red hair? My son was blonde, and he lost it as I did, and his mother as well. My uncle was an atheist. He asked God to please make sure his firstborn son wasn't red-haired. He was born with red hair. He stayed an unbeliever forever. So, Dean Stevenson.
Dean, you're silly.
Turned blonde. The brown Mexican. Brooms and dustpans are a thing, Kim. What color did you tell California DMV what color your hair was? But I actually said brown because, and it was very dark brown, but I just put brown. I had an ID card. See, every time you get promoted in the Air Force, you got a new ID card, had your rank on. And I don't remember what it was. I think it's when I made staff sergeant or maybe tech sergeant. I had an ID card, and they put on there, my eyes were brown and my hair was blue. They screwed that up, and I just left it. And of course, the next time I got promoted, they fixed it because I got it.
Dyed your hair blue. That would have been fun.
Well, and that back then, nobody had all these crazy colored hair. Nobody. I mean, maybe Halloween or something. Somebody had put some stupid color, you know, like extremely red hair or something. But nobody had all these crazy colored hair. So it just looked really stupid on my ID card. And nobody ever asked me about it.
Nah, they just dyslexically accepted it.
My oldest daughter attitude was, you know, she looked like her mom. My youngest daughter got my attitude and looks just like me. My son was always a mini-me, but I never saw it. Everyone else did. My toddler picture could be him. You know, my grandkids are like that. One of them's kind of like my side, and the other one's definitely my granddaughter looks just like her mother. It really looks like her mother. Yeah, it's your son race. I put Indian and French. I hate it when anybody asks my race. Oh, should I go into that? I had to get a new doctor. And when I went to the doctor's office, made an appointment, then I get a text, and they want me to go in and fill out some forms before I show up. Very first thing,
Uh-oh.
the very first thing they asked me on the forms is, first two questions are about race. Well, that just torques me off. So it's like, what difference does that make? So that was the end of that. I didn't go.
I'm mad at him, but I'm not.
So,
He's a
you
big
know what?
boy. If he wants to not go to the doctor, I
What?
can stop him.
What the hell has that got to do anything? They say, well, it's like, your history or something. You know what? Does a doctor ever, like, in the middle of the examination go in there and goes, what did this person put down as their race? No, they say, I've had doctors ask me, do you have, like, cancer in your family or some disease, or parents or grandparents have this or that? They don't go in there and look at some form you filled out. That's just, we're not supposed to care about that. So, enough of that rant. Yeah, that's exactly what it is, Mex and Spec. Statistics. They want to sell the information. A doctor does not need to know your race. That's right. And I looked it up. I thought it was illegal to ask, but it is legal for physicians to ask your race on a form. And I'm like, okay. So, but I didn't answer it, and I can go find another doctor. The last doctor I had did not ask my race. I never filled out anything that had my race on it. I put a boy in the hospital one time in school for calling me saying, you got dirt on your arms. I'm not sure what that. I'm not sure what that means.
Some reference to race, a race reference of some sort. Dirt on our arms.
Was copying the files from GoPro, and this is Tim. Was copying the files from GoPro, my iPhone, from today's adventure. Turned on my laptop, and you guys are still here. That's pretty funny. Mexican Spec says we never go away.
That's not true.
Well, you know what? We're coming up on. It's great. We're coming up on 3 hours. Yeah, it's
When we're gone, you'll miss it.
It's 1 a.m. I think we're gonna be. I don't know how long Kim wants to keep.
Hey, this is I don't.
You have really made this place. You made this place big enough we can do the aluminum car in here.
That was the plan. So we want to do this, right? This let's see now. You guys, I don't know if you can grasp that you couldn't go past here before because there was stuff in the way, right? There was too much stuff. It was piled all the way out to here. You were squeaking past this side here, right? And then we moved the shear, and that's where this was, but there were shelves here, so you couldn't go past here. And now there's some jacks here, but these could move around. You couldn't go past here. So I've added 3 feet on this side and 3 feet on that side. An extra 6 foot around the vehicle when you're trying to work.
Well, and you're standing there next to the sheet metal shear, and then right behind that trash can and the Studebaker hood is the sheet metal brake. So, and we're going to be using that,
And there's still more to move, but I gotta have a place to put it. We haven't quite worked that out. And there's an engine sitting here, but it's on rollers, and we're gonna find a home for it real soon here.
Well,
So-
and then
And
Tim
I put
says
the Studebaker.
Tim says it's going to start echoing in here.
I put the Studebaker front end up there in our light block.
Oh, you're pointing to it. I'm looking.
Yeah,
up.
just to
I'm
give
looking
it
up
some
like
character.
I'm looking up like a dumbass, and you're pointing to it right there. Because there's no depth. Let's see, my older dad. The older my
You
dad.
teased him and then ran away on a Salvage Outlaws. That sounds like something kids would do. I'm sure he wasn't mad. It looks like Kim had her coffee. You better believe it. The coffee I had when I was up in Clarksville at a little group meeting kind of thing, and the coffee is so dark that I got to fill it up 2/3 and then fill the rest up with water and it's still dark. It's the worst coffee ever, but man, is it strong. And then I came home and had a coffee, and like now I'm like, I'm gonna go lay in bed and be like, but I'm so tired. I probably need to be done soon. But I got so much done. I don't know what I'm gonna do with that supermotor. I think I'm gonna put it in a skid loader tomorrow, and take it over and just
Skid load it.
put it in the back of something.
Mojo, Jojo.
The only place to put it is in the back of the Subaru.
I understand that one.
What's that?
Mojo, Jojo.
Mojo Jojo. I don't know what that means.
Coffee. It's like Mojo coffee. Because coffee is a cup of Joe. You ever heard that?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's what he means.
The only problem with being that caffeinated is it's difficult to decaffeinate. Like in the morning, I ache and I'm so tired.
You know what I did? Before we came up here, I got these 200 milligram caffeine tablets, and I set it there on my desk, and you were coming home. You were coming home, and I was worried about you in the car and all that. And I set them there, so I take that. I forgot. That's why I'm getting kind of sleepy.
Well, you pulled through pretty well.
I never had any caffeine today.
Are you guys entertained for tonight? What do you think? Are you okay if we call it? Otto Savage Outlaw says that his father was very stern with us, but I was his favorite. I remember swiping from him. That was enough. One whipping from him.
Whipping.
I remember one whipping from. Well, sometimes you need a whooping. But
It's funny.
yeah.
I remember.
Go
Remember
ahead.
what I've said. One time I was late going to kindergarten, and it was so embarrassing that I was never late to school again. And then after that, work, I worked for a guy that was really stern, and late was not acceptable. And then in the military, late was not acceptable. And you know how I am now. Late is not acceptable. And tonight we were late in here because we were having trouble. But I was on the phone talking to people. I was already logged in talking to people.
Yeah, thank you for doing that, because we weren't quite. This computer takes a little while to start up because it's an older model, but it's working for streaming in the garage. And we didn't use the other camera tonight because it's kind of a hassle and the picture isn't so great, but we can. So once we start doing the thing, we're going to be recording some stuff for long form content, but we're also going to be doing lives
Maybe we can have like
associated with it.
split screens like we did with.
I don't know.
You were doing that with the Dart and me here, and that worked.
It did kind of work.
Worked well.
The dogs are done. I'm good with ending it. Powerpuff Girls and Mojo Jojo.
Yeah, let's. It's that time, Kim.
Thanks everyone for being
after 1
here.
a.m.
Thanks for all your comments and conversation.
Got beaten by my mom.
She was a Yankee. Don't make a woman Yankee mad. Yeah.
My mother whapped us on the bottom with a wooden spoon.
My dad come
Just
after us.
whap, like
belt.
a nice little
Ooh.
whap. Yeah, my father folded a belt in half, but he didn't do it very often.
Or a spatula. You wouldn't think that would hurt, but that really stings.
It's like a valve radio buff. It needs to be warmed up. Oh, valve. Oh, is that what they call a tube down there? Is that a thing that's got glass and it warms up and it's got, they call that a valve maybe in,
Shopcat Industries rolls in and he's like, yeah, just as I roll in, we're wrapping it up. I'm so
well,
sorry.
It's 1 a.m. here.
Thank you for stopping in. Yeah, it has gotten late. We'll be here tomorrow night around 10
We
p.m.
can start again in 5 minutes and do another 3 hours.
We tried to restart to fix the sound. I am going to reboot tonight, and if we don't push this thing and let it get going before we start, because we really pushed it to get it started tonight, if we don't push it, the sound will be synced. So we'll get it fixed for tomorrow night. Sorry about that, everyone. Thank you for tolerating it.
So we will be here tomorrow. We're making a commitment for that.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I'll go get that put
After
up.
John Wilburn, we'll be here.
Well, so tonight I got to do short, and I got to put up the... Hey, somebody in here. Surprise me. Send me a picture to my email. Here, put the...
It's buffdelcampo@gmail.com.
buffdelcampo@gmail.com. Send me a picture that I can... like in the next 15 minutes or something. Send me a picture that I can use for the thumbnail. Like tonight I used Tavo's Ute, his little Valiant Ute, and yeah, I'll use it for the. Send me a picture I can use for the.
That's a lot of demand.
Well,
Hey,
if
Mike, you got here late. Welcome to the stream.
you don't have to, but I mean, if you want your car on there, I'll do it for you. It's not like a demand; it's like an offer, isn't it? An offer?
Oh, that's a better way to look at it.
Okay, so, all right. So there's the link, and we're about done.
We are. Thanks everybody so much.
Oh,
We'll be
Mike,
back soon.
and Mike, yeah, Mike's just here.
Mike, say hi to everybody before you go, but we're gonna be logging out now. And I thank everyone for being here, and we're gonna do more.
There's a guy that knows what a cat's eye tube is.
We've got the garage cleaned out. We're
mowed. Yeah.
Mowed. We mowed the garage. But yeah, we've got the garage cleaned out. Tomorrow we're gonna bring in the Dart. I gotta fix the fuel tank, the fuel gauge, and some other thises and that's. Maybe change the oil because it's smoking a little bit. Oh, or maybe make a draft thing that goes into the carburetor so the carburetor sucks up the draft.
You mean get the
We got some things to do on the Dart, but we'll be able to have it in tomorrow night and actually get something
Mexican
done.
Spec sent a picture. Excellent. Thank you, sir. You mean the PCV system. Get the PCV system straightened out.
Yeah,
okay.
something like that. So
not all stinky smoke.
lots to do, but now we have plenty of space to work, which is a really nice thing. And we got little decorations. I'm going to work towards making this place more
Look out, we're going to get hit with a Studebaker. Looks like it's coming downhill at us.
We'll make it so the lights blink when people
Oh, like if we have super chats, we can go like this. We'll put another light bulb in there, and this thing's will
boo,
go
boo,
like
boo,
that.
boo, 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 boo. It'll be like a disco. All right, that's enough of that.
Okay.
People were sick of us.